All right. So it says we live, but I gotta check because Streamlabs, the most reliable live streaming program on earth. Yeah, yeah. So let me redo this. Yeah, it's showing up as scheduled again. Oh no, here it is. Yeah, see, I have no idea why it's doing it. Yeah, so it looks like I'm on. So one thing I wanted to share before I start is something I've been thinking about something, right? You know those dating scams, how like somebody will like they'll be like on Facebook or something like that. And it'll be like a scammer from like Vietnam or Nigeria or some shit like that. You know, let's use like a stereotypically like poor area. It doesn't matter where it is, right? But the logic is still gonna hold up. Something that I always think about that I'm more interested more in this than in the scam is, you know, it's like these dating scams say, hey, like it's always some woman. I think they call it like a pig butchering scam, where it's like a woman or a man. They pose as a woman or a man in a profile, and they talk to somebody, and they just give them love and say, hey, you should invest in some Bitcoin or something like that. And the person does, and they end up, and the victim, which is usually like from a richer country, they invest their money to the scammer, essentially giving it to him, and they lose all the money, right? One thing that I always think about, because I got hooked on this YouTube channel called Catfish, right? And one thing that like what I'm more interested in, more than the manipulation of like like a desperate person looking for a date and all that shit, is one thing I'm more interested in is when the scammer gets the money, how are they actually getting the money out? Like how are they actually like, okay, because you got to remember, like these countries that are in poor areas, they're not gonna have 80,000, the equivalent of 80,000 US dollars, $100,000, 100,000 US dollars, you know 500,000 US dollars, millions. They're not gonna have these equivalents in that bank, right? So like how are they really getting out the country and figuring that shit out? Like how, because okay, my first thought is some of them, they probably like just keep it in Bitcoin or whatever, try to get money out to buy a ticket. But then even then, like, see, the reality of the culture and the mindset of the people in that area, that would be a clear giveaway. Like you're talking like, this person who probably, they don't have a good paying job, whatever the fuck, and all of a sudden they got money for a plane ticket and they bought it one way. I mean, like so it's like once they get the money, like that's just like the game just begun, because now who can they trust? Because they're gonna have to talk to somebody about it. And you're talking these places that are like relatively like poor areas or stereotypically poor areas. They're not used to seeing that amount of money, right? So that's like, that just starts the problems for them. Like how are they getting this money? They can't take it out in their home country, right? Because that's just gonna just bring way too many red flags, right? Especially if it's like a poor country, they're not gonna have Bitcoin machines and shit like that out there. So they're gonna have to get out the country, right? So when they get, but getting out the country, that's a whole problem, because now they got to get their visa straight and all that shit like that. That like I'm more curious about how these guys and girls, how they're getting full access to the actual money. That's what I'm more curious about with those pig butchering scams. Like just getting the stealing the money from somebody. I think that's a bit more the easier part. Especially like online, not like going and robbing a bank, but like to actually you're getting more money than most people earn in a year, like, and now you got to figure out what, and especially when you're not used to having that much money. Like I'm more interested in the psychological reaction to that person and the people around them, seeing them go through it and how they actually get out. Because my first thought is, so something like that happens, there has to be some type of like there's gonna have to be a lower trust level in that community, right? Because people talk and they're gonna know, like, yeah, like, you know, Derek doesn't have that much money. His family, he don't come from money, none of that. So how'd he get plane tickets and a visa to Switzerland? You know what I mean? Like, how does some motherfucker get out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, now he talking about going to Switzerland. Like, what? And motherfuckers gonna start getting to talking, figuring out, and they gonna come after him. Right? So like I'm more curious in that path of it, outside of just tricking somebody to fall in love with you and give you all their life savings. I'm more interested in as far as a scam goes, them getting the shit and trying to figure out how to live and what they do with the money and what kind of friends they had and lost. That's what I'm more curious about, personally speaking. Personally. What's up, Levon? What's up, Delante Mo? What's up, man? Always put you in the background while I'm working. Yo, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Scammers get scammed. There's a heart over. Can't read it. If you get your money by that, you're gonna lose the same way. Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh fuck. Wait, I think I already went that way. I forgot where, because I got real into this game, so I beat the first boss in this game, which was weirdly difficult because they had 3 phases, and it was like weirdly difficult. Like I shouldn't have spent that much time on the first boss as I did. I think I died a good a good 6 or 7 times, and I really shouldn't have died that many times. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need some type of double jump upgrade because I can't get up there. But yeah, like scammers, man, like that's I'm more interested in that instead of like the typical, like, oh, like they fell in love and when they weren't, you know, a beautiful 20-year-old bitch and they took his money, that type of shit. Oh god. Like, I mean, that's just what. Oh, this dude wasn't here. Who the fuck is this?
Here our wills cross once again, O nameless penitent one. For a long time now, my life has been naught but a constant struggle to fulfill a promise as old as these lands. Is it your wish to meet her?
Sure, why not?
But a girl, I was able to escape the horror of the deformity engendered by the miracle. A miracle that chose the clean reflection of the still waters of a lake to reveal the truth it held in store for each of those who gazed within it. The old bell, which had fallen to the bottom of the lake many years before, began to...
You talking too much, man. Get to the point, bro. I ain't got no time for all this.
Can you not hear it?
No, because you talking too goddamn much.
Do you wish me to join you in your next there? You shall find me. And
Okay, so I guess we gonna get some fight and she gonna be on my team. I don't know because the bitch was talking too goddamn much and ain't nobody got time for that.
Billowing clouds of dust herald your arrival.
See, this is why I don't like these Dark Souls shit, because they're just too pretentious, man. Like, get to the fucking point, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Of the walls, the statues, and our own bones. These stones heard so many sins, echoes. Crawling.
Look, man, you talking too much, bro. I don't care. Okay, so we gotta fight. Uh-oh. Oh god, I don't know what to do. Can I? Okay, yeah, they don't tell you, so. Something. Oh god. Jump over him. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they on my team. The bitch was talking. Oh, run! You probably gonna have 3 phases. Oh my god, that's cheap. Uh-oh. Oh god, he stood up. What's he getting ready to do? I don't know. Oh, can't do that. What? So maybe I could go underneath him? I don't know. Oh, I gotta go downstairs. I gotta keep watching the stream to make sure, because I tried to do some other settings to see if I could get smoother frame rates in the actual stream. So that's why I keep looking to my right to make sure it's smooth. Oh god! Okay, get out of the way. Oh, that's cheap. Fucking contact damage, dude. That's fucking like the cheapest shit in these games. Just if you just touch them, you just get hurt. Oh, I could just stand here. Okay. It's not even hurting them, though. See, I don't know what I'm supposed to do right there, like, at all. Oh, God. Okay. See, I don't know. Am I supposed to, like, dodge underneath them? I don't know. So I'm going to take a hit when he decides to run at me again because I don't know what to do. I'm going to die. Yeah. Because when he charges, I don't know what to do. Maybe I could parry it? I don't know. And if he just touches me, I take like half damage, which is just fucking like outdated shit on a whole. Like I hate contact damage. I hate contact damage in games. I think it's just like the cheapest difficulty. Like if I just touch you, I lose health. Like I just think that's like the dumbest shit. That was real stupid. What I just did right there, but. I just want to restart this. I just want to jump over them, dude. Like, it's not that serious. Oh, so it's not gonna let me hurt him anymore. So I bet I could probably parry when he just like mindlessly runs at me. Oh, nope, you can't parry it. I just tried it. That's just the cheapest shit. I'm trying to get the... Oh my god, dude. Am I missing something when he does that charge? When he's like when he like gets out the ground, I don't know if I'm just missing something when he charges, because I don't know how to get away from that. Because this is the parry. I tried that, it didn't work. And you can parry with this too. But this is like the weakest shit. Oh, let me see, maybe. Hitting enemies with a... Let's try this. Looks like stream's still going, right? Will Smith's lawyer fund? Yeah. Yeah, see, this doesn't fucking... That's a waste of time. Oh my god, that was cheap. Oh, so you can jump over them. Okay. Oh, God. Didn't see that coming. You just gotta really get that shit, like, right. It has, like, very much... Okay. Yeah, okay. That's what you gotta do. Oh, I jumped right into that. There we go. And the stream survived. It's still smooth. Eddie, would be great if you watch some Andrew Tate. It would be great to watch Andrew Tate and react with your opinions. You know, I don't watch much of the guy, but from the to be 100% honest, and I'm always honest, but I don't. He said something about Jada Pinkett one time, and I thought that was I stumbled on that, and he was saying like, yeah, you just talking about Jada like she just sucked a dick, and you know, just say you sucked a dick. That's all it's about, and I agree with him. I mean, but I don't watch him. The little bit that I did hear about him, I did hear him say in speaking. I don't disagree with. I think he's, you know, I think he's spot on. I don't. The only thing I think is weird, like I just can't place his accent. That's like the only thing I think that's weird about him. Like I don't know where that accent. It's if it's a mixture of like another country and like British shit, or there's like a specific spot in the UK somewhere. The only thing that I think, let me open this window, but the only thing I think is weird is just his accent. I just don't know where the fuck that accent is coming from. Open this window real quick. Yeah. It's just it's his accent. Like I just don't like. I'm dying to know like where his accent is coming from. That's the only thing. Are we getting a story?
But their plea was so humble and true that the miracle, whose lofty reasons are beyond our earthly ken, finally stirred from its slumber.
Tell you what, let me turn this light off. No, it's fine. Fuck it.
And moved by the sweet melody of such noble supplications, it blessed this couple of devout believers, whose faith had never wavered, granting them the child they so desired.
The dying day already puts out its celestial light. Let the miracle cast open its black gates, so I might venture to where that terrible dream.
Word. We get another movie. Oh, thanks, who go nuts. I just skimmed the last because I'm trying to keep track of like 3 things at once. But thanks for, he said the knowledge gain is a lot. Thanks a lot. Well, I'm glad I was able to help. What is this? Last time I could talk to her, I can't talk to her now. Okay, there it is.
Penitent one, you have known the second of the regrets, and with it, another part of the testimony, the figure of the mother. Anon, the upper part of the city, separated from the rest by the miracle's design, will join the rest. Find the last guardian.
Make sure it's moving. Let me catch up on some of these comments where he at. He is a great speaker of red pill and general knowledge, But you are next level. Thanks, I appreciate it. Your videos from 3 years ago are gold. The videos you did from 2020, 2021 in front of that door are also. Oh yeah, that was the other room. That's like. I would, because I thought about showing you guys the plants, but I'm hooked up to the Ethernet wire, so I can't take the laptop without risking losing the whole stream. But yeah, I never thought I'd be doing YouTube like in any way this long. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. That contact shit is ridiculous. It was up, Elijah. Yeah, like that contact damage is just cheap, man. I just hate that shit. In any game, it's just like, unless I wish there was like just an option to turn it on if you want it on. Oh. Oh, word. That was it. You just say grateful and leave. Okay. I wish there was an option that you can turn it on if you wanted, if you wanted that, like for some reason. I mean, in my opinion, that just kind of died out with Mega Man back on Super Nintendo. And to be fair, like that is something that Dark Souls, I'm pretty sure Dark Souls or all that Bloodborne shit doesn't have that, which that is a plus for me. But yeah, I just hate that contact damage shit. I think it's just cheap to me. It's just cheap difficulty. Wait. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some type of like air dash upgrade and a double jump upgrade. Oh yeah, that was my fault for doing that. Make sure to stream. So I've been doing it 30 minutes, and it looks like it's still consistent. It looks like whatever I did must have worked, hopefully. Because it was at least better than it was before. Oh, I fucked. Wait. Okay, I see what I gotta do. I fucked it up. There we go. Oh, shit. It's like it's starting to skip a little bit, but it's still like watchable. I would say it's still watchable. I'm not mad with it looking like that. Oh, I couldn't grab it? Okay, I'm just going back to where I've already been. Yeah, I've already been here. Because I've already been there. I don't know what it wants me to do. For real? How's I supposed to know that? What's over here? Nothing. Still running smooth? Yeah, still running smooth. I just want to go to that exclamation point real fast and see if I can, because I've been there before and I couldn't do anything. Because it was like this room where it just locked me in and I couldn't do shit. Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need some type of double jump upgrade. Or some type of like air dash. I just don't have right now. Wait, no, this ain't the right place. This is fucking weirdo right here.
So, do you wish Soviet? The sack of no good.
I didn't even know I could do that. I got on my blue gauge all the way back. I didn't even know that was a thing. I think the Andrew Tate dude, he said he was he was in. Oh yeah, because I got to go right here, but I don't know how to go. I don't know how to go there. Because if I go the other way, it won't. It's just like a dead end. I'll show you. Because I'm supposed to go right, but this is blocked off. And if I go the other way, it's not gonna be. There was one area I think I know I think I know how to do it, but it's gonna take too long for this live stream to do it. I think I know something that might have something to do with it, or what I gotta do. Oh, God. Yeah. So this is the room. I'm supposed to be... Oh, shit. Pay attention. So I gotta get... Yeah, so I have to go a next room over to the left to get there, but I don't know how to get there because that gate's closed. Because this blue is where I am. This is where whatever room I'm in, and I have to get to this exclamation point to get there. Now I just came from this room where this little hand is, but I can't get over it. It's that Metroidvania bullshit that they think people love for some reason. I don't love it. I think it's horrible. A horrible game design. Just to be that cryptic with shit. So I don't know what I gotta do next. I don't know. I think it's gonna be just too long for me to figure out on a live stream. So I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Just to test it, I'm gonna leave it up to see if I fixed it. I'm gonna leave up the game in the background just to test it to see if what I did actually fixed it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take this off. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. take it off, but just leave it plugged in, because I think that the main issue was when I left it plugged in for too long. Wait, fuck, we'll just leave it up like this, leave it in the background. And I'll do it like I do an article or something in a minute, just to test to see if the live stream, if gaming on it is fixed now for good, because I got a live stream running right here to make sure it's you know, it's running smooth. But yeah, let me catch up on these comments, man. Have you played Symphony of the Night? No, I never even heard of it, Oliver Biscuit. I never even heard of Symphony of the Night. Let me Google that. Because right now I'm playing some puzzle games. I'm really into I got real into like difficult puzzle games. Oh, you talking about Castlevania? No, I never played Castlevanias. I was watching this other YouTuber play Castlevania, and he was playing one of them on Super Nintendo, and the controls were just jank. Like it was just like the difficulty. It was Dark Souls. It was just like that FromSoft shit. It was just like pure jank. Like the difficulty in that game is literally just jank. Like in the one he was playing, because he got to some part where he had to jump on a ledge to jump on another ledge. But the problem with it was like it's FromSoft jank. So the problem with it was once you jumped on that ledge, the ledge would crumble and fall apart, and it would never come back. So if you didn't make that jump, you had to just kill yourself and start all the way back over again. Like it was Dark Souls difficulty, right? Like it was just pure, and he was stuck there for like 25 minutes because the player just controlled so shittily that he would like jump, but he had to like turn around and then jump with momentum that way. And the player was never meant to do that. The character was never made to do it. And he was stuck for about 25 minutes. And see, like shitty difficulty spikes or just shitty designs overall, in my opinion, does not count as difficult. Or just severe lack of information. Like that to me, unless you're set out to be like a puzzle game. Like the games, like I'm playing a game now. Well, even I would say I'm playing a game, Talos Principle. The Talos Principle. I love that game actually. But that game isn't bad with it. But a game like Opus Magnum, like that's I'm playing Opus Magnum right now too, and Space Chem. I'm playing those. I'm kind of like rotating between those in my time of playing games, and like in those games, it's a little more fair because like okay, it's supposed to be a puzzle game, so like it's up to you to just figure it out. But like when a game is trying to sell itself as an action game, okay, like this being mystical, cryptic shit is not cute. It's not cute, right? Now on the counter argument to that, I'm playing. I'm finally playing the 1,000-Year Door, that Mario Paper Mario game. I finally played the 1,000. I'm playing it on Mac right now on emulator, right? And I love that game. I think it's a great game. But I got stuck. Where you had to use that hammer with the cricket sound. Because I remember when I got that little cricket sound, I heard that shit and immediately disabled it because I hated the sound. But in order to beat that boss, like on any reasonable level, you have to have that cricket sound enabled. And I didn't put it together, so I was just like horrifically stuck for like 15, 20 minutes. So I had to Google it, how to do it. Because you had to fight this dragon, and when you use the cricket sound, he gets like nauseous and he can't fight as strong. It's really ridiculous shit, but it's a fun game. I really like it. But now the counter argument is Paper Mario. I got the Origami King sitting over there. The Origami King was just too easy. Like it was just, and that's the issue I have with like a lot of Japanese developers or the people who want to be like Japanese developers. Is that they don't understand casual difficulty. Like I always say, it's usually either rape my ass level difficulty with no lube or so easy a drunk toddler can figure it out. Like they don't understand casual difficulty. Like it's just not. I don't know why they're like that. So I actually quit playing the Origami King because it was too easy. It was just I couldn't die like at all, and it wasn't like a fun way of not being able to die. It was like okay like. It was just boring at that point. I think I stopped playing around the casino when you get to that casino area in the desert, like they little Vegas or something like that. I think that's about where I quit playing because then it gets more massive, and I just kind of lost track where I had to go. The game was just too easy. Didn't feel like it was going to get. I mean, it had an interesting concept with that whole circle boss fight shit. How you got to like get that was interesting, but it was just too. It just didn't really have any real challenging parts to it. So I just got bored and just stopped playing it, and I never beat it. Talos Principle soundtrack. Oh, Ivy Bolt, yeah. That's what I told my girl, because she don't do any of this shit. So I told her like I'm playing this because she knows me. We've been together for three something years, 4 years, I don't know, but we've been together for some years, right? So she knows whenever I found something like a new thing that I'm really into, I just lose all sense of time, space, what day it is. Well, I never know what day it is, but she knows I lose just all track of everything, right? So this is when I first found like Opus Magnum, Talos Principle. Well, first I was playing Portal, and I switched from that to Talos Principle. Because the reason why I quit playing the first Portal is because they had janky jump mechanics for like, I just hate every puzzle that has a jump mechanic because it just never feels right to me. Where you got to get the momentum from jumping in a hole type of thing. It just doesn't feel like it should be there. So I went to Talos Principle. Beautiful game. Yeah, and the soundtrack is amazing. It's like this. For those who don't know, it's like a character. It's like a god. It's like a godlike person who's like watching over you. Like the game setting is like the year like 300,000 or something like that. I'm not really sure. From what I was able to piece together, it's like it's at least way in the future because you play as an android, and you really don't know what's going. As far as I know with the story right now, I'm an android, and there's like this god character who just kind of set up puzzles in like ancient Europe, and I'm in Europe and ancient and in Egypt right now in the desert doing various puzzles, and I'm stuck on one puzzle actually right now, or two of them right now. But there's this god character, like if you're stuck on a puzzle, he'll be like, "My child, if you can't figure this out, we'll just save it for another day." Like it has this really weird, and then there's like these voice recordings you can listen to from people that's like relatively alive now, like in our time, saying with how they seen it. And it's like this really philosophical game when you read other androids and notes that they left behind, like they start to lose faith in their ability to develop. And it's the Talos Principle is one of those games. I played it a long time ago and threw it away real fast because I wasn't in puzzle games. I've always been a hack and slash kind of like Bayonetta or like a Vanquish, like hack and slash. I was always more that type of person. So I threw away Talos Principle years ago, and I picked it up recently. Like you said, soundtrack, great. If you like, yeah, if you're into music on any level, the soundtrack while you're solving a puzzle is just amazing. The game really doesn't look bad. I think it still looks great. I play on 4K, I think, max settings on an old PC. I think it looks great. The puzzles are pretty cool. Yeah, I can't brag. I can't recommend if you're into puzzle games. I couldn't recommend the Talos to actually play it. I couldn't recommend Talos Principle enough. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had, counting all movies and all games. I was telling my girl, I say the next best philosophical thing I think would be Nier Automata. That would be the next, in my opinion, for like philosophical reasonings and thinkings and like why are we here type of shit. Nier Automata would probably be like the best, in my opinion, for like how many areas that it kind of touched on. Some areas that could have easily been blown over if you like really think about it. It actually like would grow into another. I think Nier Automata was by far one of the best overall. But I've actually completed Nier Automata. I haven't actually completed Talos Principle, so I can't really completely say it until I get the whole story out of Talos Principle. But yeah, on a philosophical standpoint with video game, Nier Automata is definitely the best that I've experienced. Yeah, there's some stuff like that in Symphony of the Night, but I like as cool vibe and a lot of stuff you can do that this guy Dragon Blitz on Twitch is like a master at it. It's cool watching him play. Okay, right on. Yeah, I've always sucked at 2D games. So like I've made it it was like just a personal accomplishment for me to just start playing these 2D games. Because I've always sucked at. I was good at Mega Man when I was a kid. I randomly got good at that when I was a kid. But outside of Mega Man, I've always sucked at, like, I don't play Street Fighter Mortal Kombat. I've always, for some reason, 2D just doesn't link up with me for some reason. So like, I made it like a personal achievement to get good at 2D games. So like the first 2D game that I figured out was Celeste, which is actually like one of the more difficult ones. That was the first one that I tackled in my journey of like just a personal accomplishment for myself. Right? I just wanted to do it to figure it out. So Celeste was my first one. And after Celeste, I went off into a few other ones. And then I still like Moonscars better than Blasphemous. I like Moonscars better. I like it better. Yeah. But yeah. So Castlevanias were always just like out of the question. Like the few times I played it, I had to deal with some of the jank. The dude just didn't. I never liked how he moved. Like I never liked how the character just walked. Like none of it looked comfortable. You know what I mean? Like so I just like I played Castlevania a handful of times at most and just knew it wasn't for me at the time. And maybe I should pick it up again. Maybe I should try it. But now I will say those when they switched over to like they pretty much just kind of switched over to almost like God of War-ish kind of game. Now those looked great. And I played a demo I think on Xbox 360, 10, 15 years ago. And I loved the demo. I thought it was a great game. I thought everything about it was great. But I never actually bought the game. So I do want to play those 3D Castlevanias. Those did look really, really good. But like Sleeping Dogs. Like I think the main reason why I didn't play those 3D Castlevanias was I think it was like Sleeping Dogs. Like at that time. So I'll use Sleeping Dogs as an example. When Sleeping Dogs came out, there was just tons of GTA copycats. It was just Grand Theft Auto just open that door, just open world, get in any car you want, copycat. It was just tons of them at the time. Everybody had some type of GTA clone in those years, right? So I think that's what kept me away from Sleeping Dogs back then, because I just didn't see what was so good about it, and everybody else said they loved it. It was great, blah blah blah. I didn't see what was so good about it because I just chalked it up as another Grand Theft Auto clone. So I fucked around and played Sleeping Dogs now on PC. I think it's great now. Like I think it's a great game now. It aged very well. And I think in a lot of ways, I think it's really just better than Grand Theft Auto. Because I did like True Crime back in the original, and Sleeping Dogs is pretty much, it's just True Crime. True Crime with China edition. That's all. Hong Kong, True Crime Hong Kong. That's all it is. But I did like True Crime back in the day because it was just a different take on the open world. But yeah, no, Sleeping Dogs was great. But I chalked it up to as a GTA clone, so I just never played it. And I would say the Castlevania was the same thing for God of War. After God of War came out and it became like, it was here to stay kind of thing, it just breeded so many other clones. Whether it was a shitty clone of the Blades of Chaos, or it was what do you call it? When you push the button in like a cinematic event where you push the button, every game copied that for years after that. So any game that did that shit, I immediately just chalked it up as a God of War clone and just wouldn't touch it. Right, just didn't touch it. What's up, Ferrari? I don't know how to say the first name. I don't even want to try because I'm going to fuck it up. GTA 4? I think that's one of the worst games, Ivy Bolt. I don't agree. Some people swear by GTA 4. I thought GTA 4 was a huge downgrade from San Andreas. I thought it was a massive massive downgrade. Some people swear by GTA 4, man. I don't get it. Never did. I remember when I got it, played it. I just never thought it was good. I thought what they sacrificed for realism, they lost in just so many other areas. As far as like weight gain, weapon skill efficiency, car driving ability, different types of martial arts you can learn. You could box, you can, and your strength would impact other areas. Your stamina can impact the other areas. I thought GTA 4 was just a massive down. And people swear by it, man. Some people, they will swear by Grand Theft Auto 4, Vice City. I just don't see it. Vice City was cool at the time because after 3, Vice City was just, at the time Vice City came out, Vice City was great. But San Andreas just, and then you could fly actual like air fighter jets, helicopters, I'm pretty sure you could fly commercial planes in it. Like San Andreas, you had to get your pilot's license. San Andreas just when that came out was just miles ahead of anything else at the time. It was just miles ahead. Absolutely, there was just no comparison. And then in 4, like there was no weight gain. There was no you shoot a gun and you get better at shooting a gun, and then you could like double wield guns if you get good enough. And they just took all of it out, and I was just like, yo, what the fuck, like that was the fun part, is getting is molding your player how you want them to be, like if you want him muscular or if you want him to run faster and longer, whatever, like you could do that, or you had to drive to another martial arts studio to learn that martial art and you can use that. Or it was just, oh man, like I don't agree. But I'm glad other people don't agree. That the way it can, lead me to find what you like in it, because I didn't like it. But it can open up my perspective to somebody else's, train of thought. Ivy bonus at 18. Yeah, which sucks because we can't hear your whole, I would love to hear your side of it, or somebody who loves GTA 4. I would love to hear your, like, a GTA 4 lover's side of it, because, like, I just don't get it. And it sucks because it's just me on YouTube. But, and then 5, I just thought 5 was just, there was not one point I was genuinely happy playing 5. I thought 5 was just... I never thought 5 was good. I mean, it's a solid game. Don't get me wrong. It's a solid game, but in terms of what it actually did, like there was all they did was add San Andreas driving physics to GTA 4 and had 3 people you can play as, and that was literally it. Like, as far as like what you can actually do in the game, like I still think GTA 5 was just, I thought it was horrible. It's a solid, I think it's a solid game at its core. It's a solid game. There's nothing wrong with it. And I'm saying this as a spoiled person who just bought the game. I'm not speaking as a developer or anything like that. But, from just a strictly consumer level, I always thought GTA 5 was just extremely boring. I thought it was just a waste of time the whole time. I was waiting for it to get good the whole game, and it just never got good. It was just the same shit. Drive to a destination, sex joke, violence joke, maybe kill a few people, drive back. That's all it was, like the whole time. Like there was nothing else to really do. Nothing. It was just a waste of, like, Yakuza's just, any Yakuza is just leagues ahead of GTA 5 for everything you could add. Yakuza, you can go to the arcade, play other Sega games, you could go play baseball, you could run hookers, you could do, you could get in street fights, you could do some of everything. The only thing you can't do in Yakuza is drive. And maybe they've added that lately. You can get like underground street fights in Yakuza. I think you can make like girls in bathing suits fight like in their own little fighting ring or something. It was like really ridiculous shit. But Yakuza is just leagues ahead of Grand Theft Auto 5. The only thing you couldn't do in Yakuza that I know of is you couldn't actually drive a car in Yakuza. From what I know. Maybe they've changed it. I don't know. But that was the only thing that you couldn't do when I played it. You were just strictly like running around. But it was just amazing. Hey D, I have a question. Why do chicks or shame guys? Wait, I'm trying to read this properly. Hang on. Okay, shame guys dating young. Okay, because why do women shame guys who date younger girls? The reason why they shame guys who date younger girls is because anything that's going to make the woman feel like she's not number one, then she's immediately last, right? It's that Ricky Bobby shit. If you're not first, you're last. Every woman has that mentality. Every woman has it. If you're not first, you're last, right? So if she's not the number one sought after thing, she's immediately in 30th place, right? Like, because a while back I used this example. Imagine like, okay, like imagine like if you're in a race, it's like you and like 30 other people racing, right? And let's say you, as men, we started off in 30th position, which is last place, right? We race, whether it's a 2-lap race, 7-lap race, 50-lap race, whatever, right? We start in last place and we end in 17th place, right? We'd be happy about that. We'd be like, yeah, dude, I went up fucking 13 positions in one race. That's fucking amazing. Like, that's something to be happy about as a man. Like, we don't view that as a loss, right? We view that as a win because we progressed, right? Now, women, if you were to do the same thing to women, it's 30 racers. The woman starts off in 30th place. She ends in 3rd place. The woman sees that as a loss because she didn't get first place, right? So another example is, let's say you go to a club, right? Let's say you go to a club, right? And a woman walks up to you and says, you know what, Mario, you are the 6th best looking dude in here. Right? Like, you are literally the sixth best looking guy in here. And let's say there's only like 8 dudes in there, right? Like, he ain't got to be like 30. It could be like 7 dudes in there. It'd be like, you are the 6th best looking dude. You'd be like, all right, I can work with that. I can work with that, right? We wouldn't take it as a loss, right? Now, if you walk up to a woman in a room full of 50 women, right, and walk up to a woman in the club and be like, you know what? You are the 5th best looking woman in this club. She would take that as a direct insult. Like, she is immediately in last place. That's how women are, man. They can't handle mediocrity, even though most of them are mediocre at best, especially after you just close your eyes and have to deal with them. They're not, most of them don't have any interest in thing to talk about, but they don't want that acknowledged by the world, right? Right. But yeah. If like, the reason why women bash men who date younger women is because the woman has fully realized that she's not in first place anymore. And there's nothing she can ever do to get that. There's nothing she can ever do to get whatever that younger woman has, which is her youth. So that's why they're like, every woman is always panicking, freaking out over the younger, prettier girl in the room. Because again, either she's first or she's last. There is no second, third, fourth, fifth place in social hierarchy orders type of shit. There is no, the women don't operate like that. Right? Okay. If you want to try this, go up to your own mom and be like, you know what? You, out of all the women I've seen, you are the 7th most beautiful. You are the 7th. You are the 7th. You are in 7th place of the most beautiful women I've seen. And watch your mama. Your mama, she gonna get mad at you for saying that. Right? Right? Your dad might get mad too, because some dads just get like that. But like, I get it. Like, I'm not the best dude on earth. I already know I'm not. So I know I'm not the best. So it shit don't hurt my feelings. Like I said, I learned that lesson when I went to boot camp. And I thought I was the baddest motherfucker on earth. So I went to boot camp and seen that shit was in droves of motherfuckers doing what I could do and better. I learned my lesson right then. I'm not going to be the best. What I do know is I'll do the best with whatever I got and work and live with it. And I remember after I did that, I went to the ground and I started doing sit-ups. It was my turn to do sit-ups because I was watching my partner do sit-ups first, and I just kept kind of looking around and was counting him doing sit-ups, and that's when it hit me. I was like, yeah, I'm never gonna be. It's just too many people. I'm never gonna be the best. Just accept it. So, and I remember because we had to stand up and we had to switch spots, and on my way sitting back down was when I got it. I was like, yep. I'm not going to be the best. I just got to do the best with what I got and just keep moving. Win, lose, pass, fail, whatever. Get up, keep going. Because you're not going to be the best. There's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody who has more money than you. There's always going to be somebody who has a better car, better shoes, better hair, better face, better better body. There's always going to be somebody better than you. for one reason or another, right? So my advice is to get off that shit from the start. You're never gonna be like what Warren Buffett said. Don't worry about being the best. Just worry about not becoming the worst, and work with that. That's what I'm pretty sure Warren Buffett says something along those lines, and I agree with him. Don't worry about being the best. Worry about just not being the worst. But women can't handle that logic, because see, once you start asking women to think, that's when you gonna start thinking is offensive to women. You can't ask them to think. Thinking is offensive, because thinking requires breaking down logic. Logic requires admitting that you might be wrong about something, and women don't like that. They don't like that at all, not one bit. They rather you just lie to them and say they the prettiest girl in the room when she's clearly a 6. You know what I mean? They rather just take a known lie instead of they would rather take an intentional lie than a hard truth. And that's why women will always be behind man. That's why they will never collectively develop into anything valuable. That's the core reason. Because with all the weapons they have in society, with just being a woman, wearing tight pants and having long hair, there's no reason why she shouldn't be running the world, right? With just how she can manipulate men with the women with OnlyFans. See, there's no reason why these bitches doing OnlyFans or whatever. Any woman can just sell sex. On her worst day, she has something to sell, right? Even if she becomes paralyzed, she still just has the body of a woman. She always has something she can sell, right? So there's no excuse for women to be in that position, right? There's no excuse. Make sure you guys can hear me. Okay. On her worst day, she has. So yeah, because I see the audio thing. It's not moving as high as I thought it'd be. What's up, Dante? I called my homegirl average, and she started crying. Yeah, because she has to be the. She would rate and Mo, your homegirl would rather take an intentional lie instead of a realistic truth. She'd rather you just tell her she looks absolutely amazing, knowing that you lying, knowing full well that you're lying. She would rather take that instead of tell her like you just average. She meant that you ruined her day, probably her whole week. Not gonna lie, NGL. You ruined her day by saying that, but she need to hear it, and she remembered it. I bet that she gonna remember that for the rest of her life. She's gonna remember you telling her that, then you telling her she's beautiful. She's gonna remember you telling her she's average. She's gonna remember that for the next 20 years, but she won't remember that guy who told her she looks beautiful. She ain't gonna remember that motherfucker's first name 2 days from then. That's how it works. And like I said, I genuinely, here's the thing. Like I told my girl, it's like here's the thing, like I wish I could just be nice. Like every guy, they're like, no man woke up and thought to himself, you know what? Like, I want to be mean to go get bitches. Like no man, every man, when he woke up, like at some point, every man always wants to go, like, I want to be so nice to get a woman. I just want to be nice. I want to be there for her. I want to be her best friend. I want to just be emotionally available. Every guy wanted to do that. Originally, every man wanted to. I told her, because I went to Show Park a few days, about a week ago. And we got to talking about Show Park. We talked about this morning. We was talking about Show Park. And I said, look, that because okay, all day today we had this we had an argument like all day today about women have it easier as just being women. So here's where it started. We was on the tram going to this office, right? We was on the tram and we had the baby with us, and this woman, she got on the tram next to us, right? But we were sitting down and she was standing up. So I was holding the phone so Kratos could watch some bullshit on Netflix, some little kids show on Netflix. And so the woman's daughter, she was maybe the same age as Kratos. She looks over and starts watching it too. right? So my son, he gets frustrated and don't want to watch it no more. So I just kept holding up for the other woman's daughter, right? You know, because she was watching it and she was quiet. You know, like as long as babies ain't crying, I'm happy, right? So I'd do anything to keep a baby from crying. Once you have your own, then you will understand. I will do anything to keep a baby from crying. So I just held it, and she sat there and she watched it, right? And blah 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 blah. So after it was over, I told my girl. So I said, so I gave her the example of like why women have it easier in the world. See, I told her, see, the only reason that was able to fly is because I'm sitting here with you, or I'm sitting here with you and my son, or I'm sitting here with my son. Like me being a lone man in the world, I would have been immediately just a creep for holding a phone for a small girl to watch, for a baby, a small girl to watch on a train. I would have been a creep for doing that in real life, right? If it was just me in the world, right? Whereas my girlfriend, like she could go out there and just do that and be accepted. I mean, she might be a little weird given the situation, but she's not immediately a creep though, right? Like she would immediately be accepted, right? So she goes on and tells me a story about how she was out with Kratos and some older guy, he came up and started talking to her and said, oh, like all I have is granddaughters and I've always wanted a son. So whenever I see a small boy, I always go crazy over small boys, right? And my girl said, oh, like at first she was creeped out by the old dude for saying that, right? I said, okay, now in that scenario, now if that had been an older woman who came up to you and said, oh my God, I only have grandsons, I always wanted a little girl, so I go crazy over little girls, it wouldn't have been a problem. And she goes, yeah, no, it wouldn't. I would have been totally fine. I say, see, it's these scenarios is why women have it easier, and they don't even like. Women have it easier, and they just have an overall easier life, right? So to go in further, we were talking about Show Park, because I went to Show Park with somebody who came down and we hung out. I don't know if you're watching, man, but yeah, we hung out. We went to Show Park one night. So I was telling my girl about going there, and how it's like how it just gets depressing as men. Like you just see it's like 100 guys, like depending on what night you go, it's like it could be like 100 guys in there, and they're all just waiting to take turns on like the same women, right? And I was telling my girl, like, the reality of it is, one, a miserable woman is a happy woman, and a happy woman is a miserable woman, right? Every woman in that brothel, she can easily go get a man in real life, easily, who would pay her way to stay out the brothel. With the quality women who's in that brothel, them women could go find a man anywhere. They don't have to be in there because they just that poor. No. They go find a man in real life. They want to be in there, right? So, but the other reality is, okay, all the men that show up in that brothel, if you were to go up and ask any man in a brothel, right, if you can choose to go out and have a genuine relationship with a woman, or if you're already in a relationship, have just another relationship with just like a random woman, would you actually come here? Most would say no. Right? So that will tell you that for men, women do not understand what options mean, because women are born into a life of entitlement because they were born as women. Right. So the point I'm trying to make is women do not understand what options mean. When a man has options, that typically means he can just go buy something. Right now, and women see that as so empowering, blah, 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 because men earn more. Just flat out phony, false narrative that men earn more because they're just men type of shit, which is just a purely false narrative that society pushes because people just want to victimize women. But it is a thing, right? That women just collectively believe, right? But here's the reality on options is, when a man does not have options, he means that he does not have somebody who can text him back, call him, his phone hasn't rang in 3 weeks, type shit. This is what we mean by being lonely, having no options. What women mean by being lonely and having no options is, I don't want to talk to them because their middle name is Kevin. That's what a woman thinks, she has no options, right? I don't like the way his beard look. So I don't have any options. Oh, poor me. I'm so alone. Like, women's options are through pickiness, whereas men genuinely have no options, right? And so I was telling my girl, after that explanation, see, women wonder why men get meaner in life and all that shit as we can become meaner as we get older. Well, it's because life treated us like shit. Men get treated like shit their entire lives, where women live in a fantasy world of entitlement. Even the worst woman on her worst day still can sell pussy to a desperate man and be elevated, right? So as a woman, women don't understand reality. They can't. Unless she tries to dress up like a man, and every time that's happened, women just go crazy or they get manically, just wildly depressed and mentally fucked up because they see just how tough the world actually is, that they can't get by just because somebody wants to fuck them, right? They don't know reality. They can't understand it, right? Because my girl, she was trying to say, yeah, you can't just get away with things because you're a woman. And so this was a few days ago. So I said, so my reply was, I used that divorce lawyer's terminology. He said, it falls into the, okay, a woman trying to understand reality is like trying to tell a fish that they're in water, right? And whoever discovered water wasn't a fish, right? Trying to tell a woman that, like, whoever discovered reality wasn't a woman. Whoever discovered hardships of life was not a woman. Guaranteed fucking fact. That's just what it is. Because she can't. Because she's woman, so she's always look throughout history, literally throughout histories, at any place throughout history where countries were being taken over, cities, villages, whatever, right? The boys were killed or taken for labor, and the women were raped. They were kept alive. Right? They were kept alive and kept many times kept more clean, because they were used as sex objects. See, it's that value that they're born into that blocks them from reality. So so to a woman, when you talk about wars and all this shit and women getting raped, like, I'm not wishing rape on anybody, but if you had to choose between getting raped or being brutally beaten and killed and getting your head chopped off in the middle of the street, which one you gonna pick? You gonna choose to get raped? Yeah, bro. Like Dave Chappelle said, just stay away from my eyes. You can pee on me, just don't pee in my eyes, bro. But see, to a woman, she doesn't even know what it's like on a massive scale, because women do get killed by men, but like women on a collective whole, they don't know what it's like to immediately be flagged for death, like the military. Historically, they don't have this data anywhere in their DNA. See, as a man, you are immediately cannon fodder before anything else. Woman doesn't even know what that's like on the slightest level. She can't. As a man, you are cannon fodder first, and you might become valuable later if you work hard. Or if you're just a randomly good-looking dude, something like that, you could possibly work your way up. But unless you come from a rich family, or you stumbled into a bunch of money and motherfuckers know it and they respect you with your money, something like that, you are cannon fodder. And if you're lucky, you can possibly get social respect out of that later, from working out of it, right? Right. That the overwhelming majority of men are cannon fodder first, right? Now, on the flip side, with women, okay, just because they're a woman, well, first off, first and foremost, you're a possible sex object. Like, at worst, a woman is a sex object. First, that is the lowest that she has to go. Right. Now it's just become a Brittany Renner. Whose dick did you just suck to get famous? A Monica Lewinsky. Whose dick did you just suck to balance your life out? Did you suck the right dicks? Hey, Bill Gates' wife. Did you just suck? Jeff Bezos' wife. Did you just suck? Melania Trump. Did you just suck the right dick to balance your life out? right? Because the lowest they have is dick sucker. Like the lowest, like if it was a military, right? Think about how appealing this shit would sound like from the outside. Like if you owned a military, right? Like you had the men's division and women's division. When you enter that motherfucker, the man's entry level position is cannon fodder. The woman's entry level position is dick sucker. Right? That's what it is. Right? Historically, that's what it is. A woman's lowest rank is dick sucker. That's the lowest that she's ever gonna know. A man's lowest rank is to be killed. Right? After you picked up that heavy stone, kill that motherfucker. Because he might get strong and come kill you for treating him like that. Right? But dick sucker, well, she sucked my, well, I want her to suck my dick again. Gotta keep her alive. Gotta keep her fed. You know what I mean? And you're going to start caring about her sucking your dick, so now you're going to start giving her money. And you see what I'm saying? So she doesn't know. Like, woman can never the ugliest of women can't understand. They're always in that, man. She don't have to look like Melania Trump at her prime. She could have been just, some regular Amy Schmamy down the fucking street. But she's always, her lowest demotion is going to be dick sucker. Now, once she sucks dicks, now she can go off and be the head of some small business that Donald Trump is running and all that shit like that. He'll make her career. But, but her lowest, the lowest Melania Trump could go is dick sucker. This is what it is. It's not offensive by any means. It's probably offensive because I'm still talking about dude's wife like that, but it's just what it is. Like, it's the reality of the gender dynamics, right? As a man, if you're lucky, you can build up and work out and develop respect and shit. As a woman, you just gotta suck the right dick. That's it. Work your way up the social ladder to get in with prettier bitches, and as long as the woman is physically just don't be fat and take a bath, and just suck the right dick. And your whole life will change. See, Bill Gates' wife, I bet she was all about, hard work and all that till she got that divorce. Now, I want all that money. I bet you when she was sitting up under Bill Gates, she was all on, she go speak at schools, hard work, get hard work, yeah, hard work. She was all on that meritocracy then. Till it came time for her to bounce. Yeah, see, ain't none of them women leaving without that money. Dick sucker. Now, one thing's for sure, if she had been sucking dick, she wouldn't have got that money. Right? One thing's for certain. If Jeff Bezos' wife wasn't sucking dick, she would have never got up in there at all. Right? And coincidentally, what she has to sell, she was born with. To get in there. Not enough men have heard your message. Yo, thanks, Jackson. I seen Pierce something about what was that dude? What's that motherfucker's name? The dude who tried to say I touched some girl at school. I can't remember his name. Pierce. His name was Pierce. 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 I seen that and I thought about him. That's why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at your message. But yeah. So what's up, MG Verde? Working, listen. Yo, thanks for listening, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, women models make more than male models. I don't hear any complaints there. Oh, no. When you talk about the sex industry, OnlyFans, any type of sex industry, or where you can just look at a motherfucker, women out-earn men tenfold. No complaints. There's no cry for equality, none of that there at all. No. And then here's the thing, like when they get older and they've lost their youth, they gonna go, they gonna suck the cameraman's dick, dude they would have never paid attention to before, like the cameraman, a photographer or something like that. Now they go suck his dick now. Like the little Vita Guerreras, once they get older, now they gonna go hook up with the dude they would have never paid attention to when they was 23. Because they done fell off, and now they on this whole body positivity. Old bitch. LaRue Pierce, that was it. Yeah, LaRue Pierce. Yeah. Can you do a live stream request? Oh, okay, yes, yeah. So the live it's still smooth. Yeah, I'll do a live stream request. So I was just doing this to test to see if the stream was gonna stay smooth while the game. So it looks like I hopefully fixed whatever the problem was. So I gotta hook up. Hang on, I gotta hook up my external monitor. Did I lose you guys? I hope I didn't lose you guys. I seen it skip. Let me see if I lost you guys. I'm watching the replay. I'm watching the replay. Watching. Watching, watching. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's still there. So I can unplug this. Let me open up. So hopefully I fixed whatever the problem was that was plaguing me for fucking a year or two now. Doesn't do that. Uh-oh. Still there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm moving some stuff around. So I changed my setup pretty wildly to try to fix that problem I had. I got some stuff in the crock pot. Cooking some beef in the crock pot. It's Kendra again. Kendra Cam. What do they call it? Kendra Cam. Kendra Cam. Hi. So what's your birthday? Alright, so what does a man have to do to be with you? Why is it all choppy? Am I still on? Okay. So I'm still experimenting with my setup to make sure it's gonna run smooth. There we are. Oh, covered up everything. Okay. Let me catch up on a couple more of these comments and then look at Ukrainian women, prime explanation of the difference between man and women. Oh yeah. When they let all the women leave Ukraine and kept the men there to fight. You know, there was not one. I actually searched pretty extensively for it to find any woman who seen anything wrong with that in feminists for the fight for equality. I couldn't find one woman who even thought about mentioning anything about how fucked up that was, that they let the women leave and they made it illegal for the men to leave because they had to stay and fight. Right? I couldn't find one woman to elaborate if they're searching for equality. I couldn't find one. Now there was women who couldn't leave because they were just, there was a lot of women who just couldn't leave for one reason or another. Maybe they just didn't have any money like that, or whatever. Like, it definitely wasn't like all Ukrainian women didn't have the opportunity to leave. I'm trying to move this up. There. Okay. Yeah, that's better. But yeah, there wasn't one. And on top of that, the women on live sex cams, they was in Ukraine showing they pussies, talking about support the troops and bending over. I put on I think that's why my Patreon got shut down, to be honest. Was because I started bashing that skin complexion, and it can't have that. I started on an international political level. I started like just not bashing, but I started, well, to them they see it as bashing. Like that American group, against that American group who wants to idolize Europe. I started saying that. I started putting that on, and not long after that, that's when my Patreon channel got shut down. They wouldn't let me have it because I was posting, and then I wouldn't even have nudity. I posted the ones who didn't even have nudity or even show that it was on X videos. But I showed like I took a screenshot of like all the Ukrainian women doing live cam sex shows while they were being bombed. And they shut this nigger down right now. Can't have this. This is Europe. They have spaghetti. They make croissants. But they do make some good bread. Not gonna lie. You sound just like her. Oh, let me turn this down. I got the game's audio still on. Oh, there we go.
My name is Erica.
Erica, where are you calling me from, Bo?
I am calling you from North Dallas, Texas.
North Dallas. Erica, North Dallas. How old are you?
49.
You look great. You're 49?
Yeah, she looks great for 49, yeah.
Oh, my God. Black don't motherfucking crap. What do you do for a living?
She looks
I
great.
am a corporate executive.
Corporate executive. You have any children?
I have twin grown children.
Have you ever been married, Erica?
How'd she say-
Children?
I have twin grown
Okay.
children.
Have you ever been married, Erica?
I have.
When did you get divorced?
2018.
2018. Okay. We're nosy. You don't got to tell us, but why'd you get divorced?
Oh my gosh.
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
No, I don't mind at all. Like, let's just say my ex, he loves women, a lot of them. So,
Okay. How many years were you married for?
we were together. We met the first day of college. So we were together 26 years, married 15 of those.
Oh, wow. Did he always love women?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave it at that. So Erica,
Yeah.
North Dallas, 49, corporate executive. What's your zodiac sign?
I am a Capricorn.
PTR, I agree, PTR.
Okay,
yeah.
well, what
that's
kind
all I
of
need
man
to
you
hear.
looking for?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh,
I
Kendra.
agree.
I got a
Let's get to this
list.
list.
Okay. I'm looking for a God-fearing, optimistic, like you cannot be gloom and doom, clouds everywhere. I need somebody who's faithful. I need a man who is not a whole ass hoax. I hope I can say that. Because I've been in a relationship after divorce as well, but I'm finding that men have side chicks. You have to ask them if they're single, because just single anymore does not mean anything. It's crazy. They need to be non-smokers, attractive. They need to love God, love travel. I like clean cuts. So I like a guy who's kind of preppy looking. They need to have a great smile.
Okay. What are your deal breakers?
Smokers. Men who are not driven. If they're lazy, like I have a whole lot of drive. Like if you could see my vision board up there, like I'm going places. I'm successful. They need to be driven. They need to have like a growth mindset. They need to be able to hold conversations. So they can't lack drive. They can't be needy. So if a guy needs constant, like, you know how narcissistic men need you to feed their ego all the time, like I cannot. I just like, I'm willing to compliment you. I will love on you hard if I love you. But if you are needy or really emotional, I have friends whose their man cries all the, like, no, let's stop. Don't do that.
Okay. Any was that the end of the deal breakers?
Porn addicts. Oh my gosh, the freaks out there. Stop. Like, no. If you frequent the strip club, if you're on Pornhub or any of the hubs, that's a no.
This is a thing that women have to learn to accept. Some women do get it. So there are women who get it. Porn. Men love to look at different women. Men will literally fly 12 hours just to look at a bitch with different facial features. Right? That's something that some women have just given up. It's like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean, you just go to the strip club. I get it, bro. Like some women do. Some women have broken down and become humble and they just get it. But that is something that women have to just men love to look at just a different woman than you. Right? Right? It doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how good you were at sucking dick, cooking food, whatever. Like it's just like a man just wants to look at another woman's body, another woman's ass, another woman's tits. It's just you have to accept it, right? It's just what you have to accept biology. You will never be the number one perfect prettiest woman. If you ever did become the number one perfect prettiest woman, a man will just want to look at a regular average bitch because she's just a regular average bitch. That's just what it is. Right? That's just what it is. Women trying to fight porn addicts and all this. It's the same thing like men. I will put that in the same ballpark as men trying to ask a woman how many men she slept with, right? They're just gonna lie because they know because they know what you want to hear, right? Every man loves porn in some form, whether you can call porn a strip club, whatever. Every man is gonna love porn, right? Just like most women either can or they could sleep with hundreds of men if they wanted to. It's not a challenge, right? So trying to ask men they're just gonna lie. But that's something women really have to just let go. Just let that shit go. Let it go.
Okay. Does he have to look a certain way?
Yes. Okay. So this man needs to be attractive. So I have a thing, Kendra. I have to be able to imagine kissing a guy. If I look at a guy and I can't imagine intimately kissing him, then no, absolutely. Like it's just a test. No.
Okay.
So they have to be attractive, yes. And they need to be taller than me. I'm 5'8". They don't have to be 6'3", 6'4", but they can't be shorter than me.
Okay. Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
Yes. So I know people get raked over hot coals on this show for saying this, but look here, Kendra, I'm telling you,
yeah. Real quick, and I will say the money thing. That's another thing that's just going to happen. Women are going to want men who make more, who are better than them in some way. And my staple of saying this is she's usually going to want at least one of the three. Either she's going to want physical protection, mental protection, or financial protection. She wants to feel protected in at least one of those three areas. A perfect scenario would be all three of them, right? But most women will settle for at least one of the three. But a lot of times she'll lose respect for you as a whole because if you just completely lack the other two. Like, say for example, if you have a lot of money but you're like mentally beneath her and and physically beneath her, like she can deal with you, but she's not gonna really respect you like that. Now, if you're mentally above her and you can get through that you're mentally above her, you can control her, you can make that work. But even then, like it's a lot of times it's harder. If she beats you in two of the three, you're gonna have a much harder time with a woman. But as long as you're at least better in two of the three areas than she is, now she can develop some sense of respect for you. But that is a thing that men have to let go of. Women are only going to want men who are going to be money is a universal thing. Like you can go to anywhere on earth. At some point, the woman is just going to fuck with a dude who has more money because she's going to need some money. At some point, it's going to happen. Right now, what we define as mental and physical protection, that can vary. Right. That's not like but from people who pay attention to me or other YouTubers from around the world, I think money is used more because everybody can say, yes, if you earn this much, exactly Like if a woman earns $1,000 a month, then exactly $2,000 would be what she would respect out of a man. Like we can all agree, like yes, that's where the respect develops, and she'll act like she has sense for that man, to kind of thing. And it happens in any country, everywhere you go. It's going to be the same thing. That's what she's really going to want to go after for real, because that's going to actually change her life. But like with men in porn, women in money, or men in porn, women in protection, and women in sex. These are just three areas that you have to just accept this is just going to be the reality. There's no fighting it. If something's going to sound too good to be true, it's because they're lying. Many cases.
Yes, they need to.
Real quick, Cosmic Majora says, "What do you mean by mental protection?" Mental protection meaning. Long story short, meaning you're leading her mentally. So when she gets mad and all that shit, you're not walking around going, well, "What's wrong? What's all that shit." Mental protection means in the sense of you are mentally above her, right? Like you're not chasing her, following around like a lost puppy. You don't need her to be happy and all that shit. Like you don't have a problem with punishing her relatively hard for whatever she did. Because see, that's what I mean by mental protection. Because once you show that, now you're giving her something to follow. Now, some women may choose not to follow you. I'm not saying every woman is going to follow you. Some women she might be dating another dude and she might like him more, so she'll just say, "Oh, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna go with the other," whatever. But woman wants to follow a man. Every woman on earth wants to follow a man. That's why every woman wants a man who's better than her. Right? So yeah, mental protection means being because me and we fell out. We fell out a couple weeks ago. I kicked her out. This is the second time I kicked her out, right? Because she did some silly shit. Now it wasn't with my shit, like it wasn't with my money or anything, but she did some silly shit. I'm not gonna put her business out on the street, but I kicked her out. It was right after a live stream. Remember the live stream where I looked up the school, the school? It was right after. It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I went in the other room and we fell out and kicked her out. Right? Now here's the thing. When I say I kicked her out, I don't want you to think that like it comes from a position of like, haha, I kicked her out because I'm better. Like, no, like that shit hurt me to kick her out, right? Like it's not like, it's not that picture perfect Instagram. Well, I told you to go, so you gotta leave and you gotta go and learn your lesson. No, like that shit, like I don't want to have to do that shit, right? Like I don't want to have to do it. I didn't want to have to kick her out. That's the second time I kicked her out. I kicked her out, I think it was about 4 months ago. I kicked her out. And I don't want to have to. I don't want to kick her out, right? I don't want to have to punish women. Like, okay, here's the other part. When it comes to women, right? You deal with women. As a man, it's in our nature to try to be rational and be like, oh, maybe she didn't know. Maybe, just don't be too mean. Don't be too hard on her. And take it from me, man. In my profession, and out of all the data that I've accumulated, right, in my formal profession and in my informal, in my formal profession and my informal profession, the one consistent thing that I've seen when you deal with women who fuck up is, this is why I say women are 4-year-old, or about a 3-year-old child mixed with a German Shepherd. All women, right? Out of all the data obtained before, during, and after my master's degree in my field of being a mental health counselor, right? Out of all the data I've accumulated, from running hookers in heroin infested Dayton, Ohio, to fucking with college bitches, to fucking with European bitches, and fuck with a couple bitches in Argentina, it's always been the same thing. You have to put the hammer down on bitches. You have to. When it comes time, okay, like if you're in a relationship and all that, and she did something wrong, Do not do that whole thing of oh, I see, maybe you're just, if she did something that was flat out wrong, like she did something that was flat out wrong, to the point where, you know, if she had seen somebody else do that and they just crossed the line wrong type of shit, not even like cheating or anything like that, but just like something that just crosses like a moral boundary, like with her money or something like that, that's what the issue was. It was with her money. She crossed the boundary with it, and she didn't spend it on another guy that I know of, but she crossed the boundary that she shouldn't have crossed, and she knew, and she lied to me for a while doing it, right? I didn't want to have to kick her out and all that. This shit hurt me. Like, I was fucked up about it. But out of all the data that I've collected on women, this, as soon as you break, you be, oh, okay, maybe, and you give her that little leeway, she's gonna respond like a fucking child, and she's gonna just keep doing it and doing it worse, because all she heard was, oh, he'll let me do it, he'll let me get away with it again. That's all she's gonna hear, right? So you have to convince her that you do not need her in your life. You can throw her the fuck out, take back the keys, and look, I see you when I see you, bro. You have to do it. That's the only way she's gonna respect you. All women need. Oprah needs this shit. Oprah Winfrey needs that shit to be checked in reality by a grown fucking man. She needs a man to ghost her and leave her on red. Don't talk to her. Not necessarily beat her up, but you have to get it through to her that your life can and will be better off without her. You have to put that hammer down. Right? Do not do some old, I take it easy on you shit this time. I'm going to take it easy on you, but next time I'm going to get you. You can't do that with women. You can do that with men. You can do that with men. It's possible to do that with men. But with women, you can't do it. You can't do it. In the long run, she is going to respect you more. Now, she may leave for whatever reason, for anything. I'm not saying she always has to come back. But in the long run, she's going to have more respect for you. So you have to do it. When I kicked her out this last time, I didn't get out of bed for 2 days because she got my son, right? And I was fucked up. I didn't get out the bed for 2 days outside to use the bathroom, right? And this is me. I'm AD on YouTube talking, with the user. And I was fucked up because I had to kick her out for what she did. Again, she didn't steal any money from me or anything like that. But I'm not going to put her business on the street. But she did something that I thought was morally wrong. Especially now that we have a son, and what she did with some money, I thought it was really just ignorant. Especially after I warned her when we first started with said problem. I told her that would happen, right? And I knew I really shouldn't have trusted her then, but I did, right? But I could go into it. That was all part of the plan, because I knew that was going to happen. That was all part of the plan, but it's water under the bridge now. But I kicked her out. I ain't got out of bed for 2 days. I was fucked up about it, but I had to do it. Because women are children. If you let them get away with it, she's just going to do it worse the next time. It doesn't matter how old. I've had clients I never worked with kids, but I've had clients from 20 to 70. All and for what I could get from every age group, every age range, along from all different professions. That's usually where the guy would fuck up. She would do something wrong. He would go, oh, I just didn't want to cause any problems. I just didn't want her to be mad, so I just let it go. And yeah, it would always be that. It would always, and here's the thing. It's always the guy who tries with a woman who ends up being the one sitting around fucked up. Like, you mean like a month, a year later. It's always the guy who tried. Right? It's always the guy who didn't try or put a hammer down, who got over it much quicker and moved on with his life, and the woman seen him later and was like fucked up about it. Right? It's always the man who goes out and buys the house, buys the car, buys all the food, and she does something wrong and he tries to ignore it. It's always, I'm telling you, dude, it's always that guy. Don't be that guy. It's always the guy who goes out and buys the house, buys the flat, builds the deck, grills every Saturday for her friends, buys the car, pays off her student loan debt. It's always those guys. It's always those guys. Always. It's always those guys who can't see it. It's always that guy who she takes the kids. Now he can't see his kids. It's always. And you know what man can always see his kids? right? You know what man who gets good morning texts and good night texts and you hurt me texts and all that? It's the man who put his foot down. It's the man who didn't try to please her. It's that man. It's always the same way. I can't think of one time where it didn't work out like that. I cannot think of one. My dad has a friend right now who's like 60 and he still does it. He's still the guy who tries. He'll drive 50 miles just to take this whore to church. I'm not exaggerating. A whore to church. And he wants to marry her, but he believes in marriage before. I mean, he believes in marriage before sex, so he doesn't have sex with her. And he's never grown out of it, right? And he's 60. I've known him since I was little. They've been friends for a long time. I've always known. And he's a great guy. He's a great guy. Great guy. Great. He's an amazing guy to talk to, hang out with, just be with. He has a great sense of humor. Great guy. But when it comes to women, he just, I don't know. He just fucks up. Right? But I'm telling you, it's always the guy who cares. Don't be the guy who cares. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, if you just in the mood to, like, you know, pay for her food, like, if y'all go out, if you just in the mood to pay for something or you want to go somewhere, whatever, blah, 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 then if you just feel like doing it, but don't do it to please her, right? Because after we fell out, after this, I'm venting my relationship status. After we fell out, I told her, look, I'm not paying for shit for a long time. So you got to go out there and buy diapers. You're going to buy baby wipes. I'm not paying for shit. So she wanted to go to the zoo. I said, okay, well, you got some cash? And she goes, yeah, I already bought the tickets. So she hang on, I can show you the links. Oh, let me see if I can find them. It's going to be a while back. But she sent me the link because she had to buy the zoo tickets online. She texts me so much. It's going to take me a while to find this shit. But this was just Saturday, so yeah, because this is Sunday, and she had to send it like Thursday or Friday. Hang on, because she bought the zoo tickets and then she paid for the food. Yeah, because she's at McDonald's. I had to pick her up from McDonald's. Here it is. Oh, that's right. It's not gonna open, but this is the. Yeah, it asked to. I don't know why it asked for my Google. I can't open it because it asked for my Google shit. But I thought she sent me a picture somewhere of it. Wait, it might be in my email. Because then I feel like I have to show you, or else I'm just talking shit. Hang on, I think she might have emailed it. Or did she send me a text message? Now I have to show you guys, or I feel like I'm just talking shit. Oh, I'm missing messages in here. I don't know where she sent it to me. Now I gotta find it, and then because now I feel like I'm just talking shit. Because she sent me the zoo tickets, and then she paid for my ribs when we went there. Because I'm not paying for shit. Oh, she unsent it. Why she unsent it? Because here it is right here. It says she unsent the message. No, that's not it. I don't know where she sent it. Maybe she didn't send it. I can't remember where she sent it, but she sent me the fucking link to the zoo because she paid for it. I'm not paying for shit. But yeah, no, but that shit, I don't want to have to do that, man. Like, I don't want to have, but you have to. Long story short, you have to be mean to them. You just have to. They don't respect nice. They think they want nice, but they don't respect nice. You have to. You have to learn how to do it.
Significantly into the six figures. So, yes.
Significantly. So 100K is not even good enough.
It needs to be more.
Huh?
It's not that I don't, part of my problem, and I'll get to the flaws, is that I have attained a certain level of success.
Yeah.
And it just becomes real dicey when the man makes a whole lot less than you. It's not me. They become insecure. Like, it gets crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I'm sure they become insecure. Yeah. And I'd say, yeah, Oprah says the same thing. Oh, because Oprah was going to say the same exact thing. Because Oprah's used to living a life of a billionaire now, right? So she's going to say the same. She's no different from like they all women are the same. It's just what she was used to. If you go to a bitch in Ukraine and she makes $1,000 a month in Ukraine, that's a lot of money. Because the average wage in Ukraine is like $300 a month. So if she makes $1,000 a month in Ukraine, she's gonna be thinking she's some hot shit. She's gonna be her in Ukraine, right? And and the man has to make he got to make at least 10,000 a year. Not even joking. In Ukraine, you go out to Ukraine and that workforce where that average wage equals about $300 a month on a high note, right? For the typical person, right? Because you got to factor in those millionaires. They're gonna like spike those numbers up. If you go out in Kiev for real and get to walking and talking to people and knowing people if they can speak English, and you figure out how much they gonna earn. Yeah, the average wage out there is no more than at max 500. That's like higher echelon shit, right? So 500 times 10 is $5,000 a month, $5,000 a year. If I did my math right, $5,000 a year. Like, so out there, see, she's just an American bitch saying this shit, right? That's the only difference. You go out to Kiev, oh, you got to make at least 10,000 a year, or you can't touch this pussy, right? You come out to Czech Republic, you got to make at least 20,000 a year, or you can't touch this pussy. See, it's all what that woman's used to. It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, more money is always more money, but what's going to open up her pussy to men is what she was born into, right? So let's say if Oprah had a daughter, right? Her daughter, she might play around with some little scrubs here or there, but when she gets older, oh, she ain't fucking with no guy who ain't got $1 billion in his bank account. Period. or in the UK, full stop. And I'm doing that because it's about what she was used to. Right? Again, you come out the Czech Republic, the most average Czech, not just counting the capital, which is Prague, but you include all of Czech Republic, the average wage is probably between $600 to $1,000. And once you get to Prague, it creeps up to about $1,500. But most real Czechs, make between $600 to $1,000 a month, right? So that equals roughly $12,000 per year, right? And that's before taxes. Well, yeah, I would say in many cases that would be before taxes. So in reality, they're bringing in $7,000 a year. A lot of Czechs are. They're only making $7,000 per year, right? So you leave Prague and you go out to one of these little Cheskalipas, yo, them girls gonna drop their panties for a dude who's making $17,000 a year. Fast. Right? Because again, it's all they know, right? So any woman, this woman, Kendra, whomever, whatever woman that's on this whole, he got to earn this. See, it's just what men, I think men are misunderstanding it. It's not just the money on a massive scale. It's whatever that woman grew up with and was used to or worked her way into. Long story short, whatever that woman's used to. Czechs do a lot of porn. Yeah, but I think it's not as common as you think. There's a bunch of factors in Czech porn. I think the number one biggest factor is that sex is not as taboo out here, and from what I've understood, the further east just in Europe and in the rest of the world in general, sex is not as taboo as it is in like the U.S., Canada, UK, shit like that. Like, it's not as taboo. It's not this like quiet thing that you should be ashamed of liking kind of thing. So that kind of changes a lot of the dynamic. And then two, with them being Czech, well, there's a good chance that even though they are a close-knit community, many people, if they get on with some Americans or some Germans or something like that, well, they're like, nobody will ever see it, and they'll make more money shooting porn than they'll ever make standing on their feet at Starbucks all day, right? So like, many women can at least dip and dabble at least at some point in their life, even if they're not just having flat out sex, they're just like posing topless or something like that. They'll at least dip and dabble because, you know, if they get paid $80 for a shoot, well, that $80 that's like 2 days worth of standing on their feet at work for a lot of them, right? That's 2 days for a lot of them. That's 2 days of standing on their feet after taxes, right? So like, why not stand up and take your shirt off? You just a little Czech girl. Nobody speaks Czech. You know, nobody knows you. They're not gonna know what that website is and how to find it. So like, why not do it? Right. So there's a lot of things that are playing. Like, it's not like American women. Czech women are not like American women dealing with American. I'm assuming you're American, but it's not like that mentality out here. But now don't get me wrong. Like, women aren't just like sucking dick like on the sidewalk. It's not like that. But you know, it's just a different thing.
So I just think that with the lifestyle, like, I love traveling. I'm in the prime of my life.
I hope this camera keep going.
No, we're gonna
This
let
is
the
not
camera keep
true.
rolling.
This is not, doesn't even make sense.
I'm ready to do great things, and we're building empires over here. So yes, I will stick to that.
This bullshit has some broader implications.
Okay, fair enough. It's a challenge. I really feel for it because you want this man to be a black man, right?
I prefer.
Yeah, I think just the challenge is, and I totally get the request from boss women as a boss woman myself. It's just the amount of men to go around for every boss woman who also wants him to be faithful and, you know, all those things. And then with that guy, not necessarily always putting your money at the forefront. So I understand the desire of it. I do. Like, there's no pushback from that. The question just becomes is there enough boss black men to partner up with every boss black woman and that wants to be monogamous? I think that's where the challenge comes apart.
That is so true, Kendra. And I was once told by a guy that look, you're gonna always be single because every guy who's 6'3" and has it going on, he's got a side chick, even the ones that say they don't. And I told him I'm trusting in God that he is going to deliver a man unto me that doesn't need a side chick.
Led to laughter.
Anchorman.
We are laughing.
So, you know,
Anchorman,
and I'm not
that's my
asking
movie. I
that a
love that
man
movie.
makes a certain amount of money because I need his money. Part of my flaws is that I'm overly independent, and I say things like, I don't need a man. Like, I've been making it work. And I saw somebody said, I have 2 kids. I have 2 20-year-olds and they are in college.
I'm proud of that.
I don't have small kids. I can
I'm
go
proud of her
and
for
do
that,
whatever I
for
want
sure.
at this point in my life. So, yeah, but no,
A
don't
couple things real
really-
quick. I didn't say, first of all, everyone's saying, I don't think all men cheat. So let's start there. I don't think all men cheat. So let's start there.
Thank
And
you.
I didn't say that, but I said that y'all don't even need me for this. Like, y'all don't need me for this dose of reality. Like, y'all be getting mad at me for saying facts that y'all are witnessing every day. Think of all the women you know, and then think of how many of them are potentially single. And then think of how many women have that guy. Like, I'm not saying, I didn't say that she couldn't have this man. I was saying that I understand why boss women want to date a man that makes more or the same. All I was saying is that not realistically, statistically, if every boss woman, is there equal for every boss woman? That's all that I was saying. I wasn't saying that men, somebody was saying I said that all men cheat. I know all men don't cheat, but that's neither here nor there. Back to you, Erica. When
Okay.
was your last relationship?
In February 2021, so about 3.5 years ago.
Okay. Would you date older?
I will date older, yes.
What's your age range?
But like up to about 55, I want to grow old with someone. So I really don't want someone who's like 60 and above. Like I'll maybe go up to 57.
Okay. You've been married before, right?
Yes,
Do you want to get married again?
I do.
Okay. You don't have to answer, but when was the last time you was intimate with someone?
It's been a while.
Yeah, this is a stupid
It's been a while. I'll leave it there.
It's been a while. You leave it there. Okay. And what are 3 flaws you have to work on?
Oh my gosh, let me go back to my list. So one is, like I said, I'm overly independent. I know men have they want to feel like they're rescuing someone. And I'm just not that chick who is waiting on a man to swing in and rescue them. And I know that I need to convey more of the feminine energy of allowing the man to rescue me. So, I mean, I've done my own break jobs like long ago. Like I used to, like I grew up having to be really independent. And so
I'm
because
proud of
I
her
have a
for
great
that.
dad, he taught me how to do all these great things, but I'm just overly independent. I think what I've been through in relationships, it has caused me to go, I'm never going to be dependent on a man in any way. And that is something I need to work on. I need to soften that. I'm super picky, and I've been told that I'm unapproachable sometimes. I don't know what face I'm wearing, but when I'm in settings, when I'm in like group settings, I think I wear a face. I hope not, but I mean, I smile a lot. I have no clue. But I think I need to work on being more approachable.
Being more approachable. Okay. And why would a guy be like to be with you, Erica?
Oh my gosh, I'm in the prime of my life. Kendra, I'm living my best life. I love God. I have a great sense of humor. I'm ambitious. I have a growth mindset. I'm a great cook. So I grew up in Louisiana, so I can cook all of the gumbos and the red beans and rice and the pot roast. Like I'm a great cook, great conversationalist. I'm a hustler. Like I want to build a kingdom with someone. I'm positive. I'm a believer in if you fall, get back up, keep going. So I've been through a lot of things in life, and I've overcome them all because God's track record is 100%. He brings you through every time. So I just think I'm a great catch, and I'm nice. I'm a really sweet person, Kendra. I just keep running into hoaxes.
I think you're dope. Can you do the Kendra Kim? I almost forgot. That reminded me.
Ooh, she looks great.
Okay.
Your
I'm
shirt
proud
says
of her
bougie?
for her kids.
Yes, it's from my online boutique called mybougieLife.com.
Okay, you look in great shape. I mean, you look amazing for 49. Like you do not get 49 at all.
Yeah, she looks great.
But someone said Kendra G is a Pikme. You haven't got that by now. What does Pikme ever even mean? That men pick me? That's true. Men do pick me. Are you mad that you don't get picked? I'm so confused. Like, I don't get it. What, am I supposed to be offended that men pick me? Are you mad that men don't pick you? I wanted to say the name, but it went too fast. Child. That's why some of y'all gonna be single forever, child. I don't even understand. Like y'all be saying insults that don't even make any damn sense. I'm the woman that men pick, and I'm supposed to feel offended by that? I mean, get picked. That's the problem. Nobody don't want your ass. Nobody don't want your ass, and you think the insult is saying nobody wants me because nobody picks me, and that's the compliment. You're the insult. You don't even realize it. Hello? Ooh, you look cute.
Okay, thank you.
You're the insult.
So yeah, with her, like I'm proud. Like, look, she has 2 kids. Whatever she did to get them, whatever happened, you know, her kids end up going to college, which is fucking great. She's independent. Yeah, like all that is great. All that is great shit. It is. It really is. She looks great. She's 49. She looks great for her age. You know, she appears to be successful. She appears to be relatively intelligent. You know, I guess I don't know her, and I don't have a conversation with her, but I would say there is something in there outside of just staring in the distance like most women will do and just like agree and smile and agree. There's at least something else in there, which is admirable. But it's that picky shit. She's become the great value brand of Oprah Winfrey. She went too high. She's just gone too high. Let me make sure. She's gone too high. At her age, If a man is making half of what she earns at her age, he can and will just go get a younger woman with no kids and actually make a life, make a real life, right? She's 49, kids, all like I said last live stream, unless you getting ready to have kids with that person, y'all just buddies. You are just buddies. If you're not having kids with that spouse, y'all are just buddies. See, families get made off of children, because until you have some type of children together, y'all just dealing with each other. Y'all just dealing with each other until you get on your nerves, slightly get on each other's nerves. See, because y'all ain't waking up at 2 a.m. being up for 2 hours because the baby's being ridiculous and all that shit yet, and bonding over that. And see, y'all ain't see. There is nothing to build with her outside of being business partners. She's looking for a business partner she can fuck. Right? Because there is no building a family with that. There's no family building with a 50-year-old woman. There's a business partner. There's a business associate you could fuck. There's a colleague, but there's no family to be made. An empire. No. You're a fuckable business partner. That's the position that she's in. She's an Oprah Winfrey. She went too high and ended up older and single. Not old and single. She ended up older and single, right? Now, I mean, there's nothing wrong with fucking a business partner. There's nothing wrong with that at all, as long as you just know your position. But there's nothing to be grown out of that. As soon as you get on each other's nerves a little too much, one of y'all gonna be gone, and that's gonna be it, because you ain't tied by nothing else. But the idea of what he earns every year, that's it, and hoping that you can secretly get some money out of him while he's not paying attention. That's it. What else does she have to offer him outside of just random companionship? If he's just lonely, I get that. Some people are just lonely. But again, a man who is 50, who is earning half of what she's earning, can just go out there and go develop an actual family, right? A true empire. A man could go out there and develop a true, not a hobby empire. He can go out there and make an actual empire, right? He can do that. She's aged out. She's Oprah Winfrey, man. She went too far and got too old. So now she's stuck. And she does look great for her age. She's holding on to the youth, abnormally well. I'll give her that. She looks great for 50. She was great, amazing for 50. I'd love to have that relative, even though she's wearing makeup and shit like that. But I'd love to have that relative, look at 50 of youth. I would love to have that at 50. Right? Now the difference is a 50-year-old man in that position can walk in a room with those requirements. Right? A 50-year-old man can walk in there being picky and on those requirements. But here's the weird part of how it all flips, how the realities and logic of men and women, everything is completely backwards. Since men are treated like shit so much in their early life, men are more kind of walking around like, oh, I hope, where women are walking around like, I know, because they were just getting whatever they wanted when they were younger, right? So but in reality, it should be the other way around. Men should be walking around with, I know, and women should be walking around on, I hope, right? A 49-year-old man should be sitting up with these requirements, right? A 50-year-old man should be in there saying, yeah, you got to make this much, you got to be this height, you got to be this weight, you got to have this type of mindset, right? Because a man is bringing leadership to the table. A woman never wants to bring leadership to the table. Right? See, there's a reason why Captain America is the leader of the Avengers and not Black Widow. Right? There's a Captain America ain't even got no superpowers. That motherfucker just a really strong dude. You mean? That motherfucker just did a couple curls, said, all right, let's bounce. He ain't put on no armor. He ain't got no hammer or nothing. This motherfucker This motherfucker did a couple sit-ups. Said, "All right, let's go. Come on, Thanos." This motherfucker did 3 sit-ups and picked up a slab of metal and said, "Let's fight." Right? And on top of that, I'm ordering motherfucking Thor. I'm ordering Iron Man. I'm ordering motherfuckers around. Right? This motherfucker is a little strong. Captain America superpower. He a little strong. He a little strong. That's Captain America. But no, he did have that super serum though. I'm exaggerating. But you get my point though, right? He a little strong, but he thinks he's a leader. Women don't bring leadership to the table. Historically, they never have. They don't want to be a leader. But she's aged out. She's Oprah Winfrey. Prime of her life at almost 50. Yeah. See, women's prime of life is not based off of how much money they earn. A woman's prime in life is well, like Kendra said, a woman's prime in life is being a pick-me. How Kendra just, when she was going off on somebody in her chat that called her a pick-me. I think pick-me means like women who do things women who like dress themselves up to become more desirable to men. In other words, pretty women are pick-me women. They if I understand, let's Google it. So I get the exact definition. Dictionary.com. It's in dictionary.com. A pick-me girl is a woman who obsessively desires male approval and validation, often at the expense of other women. Despite the word girl being used, the term pick-me girl is almost always used to describe an adult woman. The term pick-me girl is used to describe a woman who obviously and obsessively works to gain men's attention or acceptance. Typically, a pick-me girl talks about how she's not like other women, especially in ways considered typically feminine. A pick-me girl may point out how she doesn't wear makeup or prefers sports to fashion. Okay, pick-me girl is often discussed as a female equivalent of a simp, a term often used to describe a man who obsessively seeks female attention. Like a simp, pick-me girl is almost always used as a negative term. Yeah. So anyway, it's the same situation. A woman's height in life is to be picked by a woman. I'm sorry, is to be picked by men. Is become desirable by men. That is when a woman's in the prime of her life. How much money she earns, what kind of car she bought with her money, what kind of purse she bought with her money. Okay, here's the thing. And I was telling my girl this a few days ago. Louis Vuitton is not made to be bought by women with money earned by women. Louis Vuitton is supposed to be bought with money made from men. Right? So when women go out and buy shit like Louis Vuitton, like even the women know like something's not right. Like she shouldn't have to do that. Like Louis Vuitton, any of those relatively speaking luxury brands are not made like the woman is not supposed to go out, be independent, work to get her own money to go buy Louis Vuitton. That's not how it's supposed to work. Right? Louis Vuitton, how it's supposed to work properly is the man is supposed to go out and just buy it for her or put the money in her account or give her his card and use his money to buy Louis Vuitton. Right? So when a woman is in a prime of her life is when she's using that man's money for the pick-me items, right? Women who actually had to go out and work, which is admirable, by the way, don't get me wrong, but the women who had to go out and actually get the education and get jobs to get money to buy their own Louis Vuitton. See, even the woman knows something's not right about that. Even the woman knows like this ain't right. But she tries to fake it, and tries to fake this, oh, I'm luxury. My feet don't touch the floor bullshit. But even she knows like it's not right. Right? Because again, when a woman is in her prime is when she's most desirable to men. To the point where she could get men to do things. When women come together in circles and start talking about men, they always brag about what they can get a man to do for them. That is their prime in life. Now, men originally start out with that. with the same scenario, right? Like at first, men, it's like, oh, what did you get a woman to do? Blah, 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 blah. You know, then he's a man. But then after a while, men kind of grow out that shit. Now it's like, oh, well, you know, they grow off to like actually enlightening their mind and, you know, and finding new challenges and experiences. And then the woman becomes more of a nuisance, right? So he just doesn't care as much. Right, men grow out of that shit. Women, they just stay right there. Like their whole value, women don't grow. They don't grow. Like their growth is stunted forever. Most of them. Like I said, the only difference is this one is just a doctor and the other one is sucking dick for $5 for heroin. Like that's the only difference in women. Right? Is it they're doing it in a clean hallway or a dirty hallway? But all of them have the same end goal. All of them get mad and relatively the same. The general situation is they all be getting mad over the same things or chasing the same things. It's just one is doing it, you know, on an ivory floor, and the other one's doing it in a back alley, you know, in a back alley. That's the only difference. And and then this one thinks she's better than that one because she's cleaner. Because she's more clean for higher paying men. That's the only difference. Listen to AD is like therapy for the soul. Thanks. I would love if humans did an experiment to build a country and give women the country with everything needed to keep it alive. Yeah. I used to say that. Yeah, I would love to see. I would pay good money. I would pay what I would call good money for myself to see that experiment and just leave them for like 50 years. Right? Like no men could ever go over there and touch any or tell them any information to evolve or develop any technology. Because I used to say a while back, and I was thinking about this when I was walking today down the street. I was thinking about an experiment I had. Like let's say like, okay, in my theory, if you locked away men and women on different islands, right, and you just gave them, or like let's say like if you locked them away with technology how it is now, like running water, you know, iPhone, shit like that, right, and you locked both away on two different islands, right, the men would continually develop new technology and grow, and we'd probably have flying cars within 50 to 100 years, right. Now, if you go to the woman's island, everything would be broken down, and they wouldn't have drinkable water in 6 months. By the time a year came, they'd probably just convert to complete cannibalism because they just couldn't eat, because there would be or they'd be eating grass, you know, and tree bark, anything they could find. Like they would literally just degrade into just animals. Right, there would be one thing's for certain, there'll be absolutely no growth in technology. I guarantee you that. There would be no shortcuts made, nothing. They would literally just die off without men. But the example I had a while back was a telephone. If you just gave like a control group of like 20 men who stayed away and 20 women who stayed away, if you just gave them like a cordless phone, right, men would get to tinkering with it and learn how it works and build other shit, where women would just like decorate it with bedazzled jewelry or some shit, you know, and maybe color it pink, and the phone would be broken and, you know, in a week. You know, it would just be it'd be done for. Men would have issues too, because there's always some guy who just doesn't understand it and would try it and fuck it up, but another man would come and fix it, right, and you know, and make rules up for it and all that. But no, women, they just don't grow, man. What's interesting about women buying expensive name brands is I doubt most actually like the brand. It's simply that it costs a lot of money, so their logic is it must be good, so they like it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, women, most women have, majority of women you're going to find, there's some women who do get into leather making and or like, you know, making like, you know, wallets with leather. You'll stumble across women like that from time to time. But most women have absolutely no idea why or what they're buying. Right. So like, for example, like me and my girl, I had to like, I try to educate her on clothes. Like, so when she wanted to wear like, you know, because these European women, like they love fast fashion, and like they love fast fashion. European women love it, mostly because they're not as fat as American women, so they can fit a lot more of it than American women can fit. But it's all junk. It's all just plastic. You know, it's just plastic bag Its plastic bags are us. That's all it is. Just everything in there is polyester. Because it's fast fashion. It's cheap. Probably radioactive, toxic, and all that shit, right? So actually we was laying in bed today and we got to the conversation where we didn't get there, but I wanted to say, look, like I can, if you were to bring me $100 suit and $1,000 suit, I can tell you which one, just by looking at the material, I can tell which one is the more expensive one. Or $500. If you were to bring $100 suit, well, nowadays some $100 suits are starting to get better quality, so it's getting harder to tell in that price range. But if you were to bring in that range, like I could tell the difference immediately. Or if I just try on the jacket, I can tell, right? So I remember when she wanted to wear blazers, and she was wearing this Zara blazer, right? And I tried it on. And immediately, like, I can feel how it was like you couldn't move like this in it. Like you couldn't so when you wear like the more expensive clothing, the big difference is like it's going to be more functional. That's where a lot of what makes suits or clothing more expensive for a good reason is because it's going to be flexible and it's going to breathe and it's going to hold up its visual appearance for longer with minimal care, right? So like she had this Zara jacket and I tried it on and like I was just like, and it was it. Like you can't barely lift your arm up. Like it's just so uncomfortable, right? So this is a Hugo Boss suit that I sleep in this suit. I'll be real with you. I sleep because it's so comfortable, right? It's Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is not luxury, but it's better quality, right? I personally like Hugo Boss. I know about the whole Nazi shit. He was like a designer for the Nazis and all that. I know, but like I like this. I sleep in this suit. It's unbelievably comfortable. I got the pants on too, and like very stretchy. Well, you can't see. Like it's like stretchy. It's comfortable. I sleep in this, which sounds like a flex, but it's so not because the bottom of the pants need hemmed, and I never hemmed them. So like here, I'll show you the strings. Hang on. I'll show you the strings just so you don't think I'm trying to be bougie because I say I sleep in a Hugo Boss suit. Some people might think I'm trying to be bougie, but I'll show you where I never got the legs hemmed. So like the strings are just like all at the bottom. like I need to get the bottom of it hemmed, but like it's just all frayed. It's like falling apart. So yeah, not bougie. It's just a comfortable suit. It's like super comfortable and like it feels like you're wearing pajamas. So I sleep in it. I don't know if you can tell, but it's definitely more like it looks more cottony. It doesn't look like a business suit. Like it looks like a casual. It's one of those casual, like almost like a jogging suit type of suit kind of thing. But even then, like my other suits, like when I tried on her Zara jacket, I was just like, oh, I couldn't move. And I said, look, this is Zara. You can't wear this. It's not going to breathe, blah, blah. So I went and I got one of my suit jackets. I told her to try it on and tell me how quick it tells you to feel the difference. And as soon as she tried it on, she felt immediately the difference in that Zara jacket versus, I don't know, I think I had a Donna Karan. Donna Karan doesn't make men's suits anymore, but I had like a Donna Karan suit or something like that in the other room. I can't remember what brand it is, but yeah, that's why clothing is going to be more, any type of clothing or cloth is going to be more expensive because either they use a certain type of material for clothing or they assembled it well or a mixture of the two. Here, actually I wanted to show you guys this dude's YouTube channel. He has a great YouTube channel. This Indian dude, let me find him. I love it. I stumbled on him maybe like 2 years ago on somebody else's channel. His name's like Raiv or something like that. Here it is. Let me find it. And if you want to learn, like, this dude is a great dude, man. I highly recommend. Here he is. Very knowledgeable dude. This dude is, if you want to learn, like, random shit, like, this dude is amazing. His name's Raiv Surendra or something. I don't know how. I probably butchered his name. But this dude is absolutely amazing. I stumbled on a video of him maybe like a year ago where he was talking about doing calligraphy, I think, for like a coffee shop or something like that, and he was like going real into it. So and I loved him back then. It was like a 30-minute video and I watched it from start to end, dude. This dude's like he's one of those dudes like I dream to be a guy like him. right? And so, like, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I was like, like scrolling through YouTube, and I stumbled on it. I said, "That's the dude from that video," and and I instantaneously subscribed to it. On my iPad, I subscribed immediately because this dude is like just amazing, man. So if you ever want to learn like random shit, like, but he's like a really knowledgeable dude. Like I like that's somebody I dream to be, like somebody like him. I dream to be him. What he was talking about. This is a video I watched a few days ago. He's talking about using your nice shit, and he talks about having a tweed jacket and the realities of how it looks better if you use it. And dude, he's a great dude, man. I could not recommend him. I couldn't recommend him enough. Like that dude's my idol. You know what I mean? Like this motherfucker's amazing. I got a few idols actually that you would never even know. Like you would never even know these motherfuckers, man. Like some people I know in real life are my idols. I just never told them. I just don't think to talk about it. But yeah, so what's his name? Right, that's his name. You zoom in. This dude, great. If you ever want to learn like random, like it's almost appearingly random shit, but it's like, it's literally, it's a good like knowledge to have, just to kind of have it type of thing. Highly recommended that guy. I mean, I couldn't recommend him enough. I think he's amazing. I think he's absolutely amazing. We say dressing nice is very important for a man. Doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. No, not at all. Because here's the thing, man. Like with me, I've been in Europe so long that I've lost track of like up-to-date styles, like in North America, because we move. Like Europe's still stuck on Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger. That shit died out 20 years ago. So like, I'm so out the loop with fashion that I don't know what name brands are even popular in North America. I see people wearing Gymshark. I had one guy, he gave me a Gymshark t-shirt from America. I heard but I don't even know many brands anymore in North America. So like I'm so out the loop with up-to-date brands. Because again, Europe is like stuck in the 90s with brands. So like, yeah, I think a lot of the rest of the world is kind of stuck in the 90s, but but whatever makes you happy, go for it. But so since I'm not in the brands anymore, all I focus on is the quality of the material, telling if they're lying about what it is and all that shit. And if it fits well, that's all I care about anymore. It's just the material, the quality, the look of quality and feel of it. And does it fit my body well? Those are the only things I care about anymore. I don't care about, because I just can't keep track of brands. Because as soon as you find a good Czech brand, well, there's a Polish brand. Or you find a good Polish brand, there's a German brand. You find a German brand, well, there's a Dutch brand. There's because they have their own brands that are like really great. So I think I have a few of them in the other room. So it's like so in America, you don't have like Ohio brands or like Tennessee brands, or you have some things that they may gravitate towards, but you don't have like a brand that strictly comes out of like fucking Michigan, right? Like you don't have very many, at least, that take like the main, selling point of Michigan, right? You don't have like a clothing brand that's made in Michigan that all Michigan people regard as like top quality shit, right? Whereas over in Europe, like the Czechs will have it, then like the Germans could have it, then the French could have it, and the Italians could have it. Like they all have their own. So I'm just so, when it comes to brand names, I'm just so I just can't keep, because you just can't keep track of it, that I just stopped caring. And now I'm just like, okay, does it look right? Are the materials well? Does it fit well? And that's all I can keep up with anymore. Because the first thing, the friend of mine who rented my flat in Ohio, the first thing he asked me when we talked was, I actually got to text him back. He asked me, what brands do they wear over there? And I had to tell him, like, look, I can't keep up with it. It's just too many. But the staples are like Nike, out here, we say Levi's, but they call it Levis. Levis is still big out here. Like, that's how I could tell, like, when I'm watching porn and like, the girl is like trying to make it seem that she's wearing Levi pants. Like she's trying to make sure you can see like that little red part that, like the Levi's here. Actually, I got a pair of Levi's pants right here. So you know, so these are Levi pants, right? And you know, like this little like red part right there. And see, like that little red part on the back of Levi pants. Well, in America, we don't really wear Levi's like that. Levi's are not a fashion statement, but they're not bad pants by any means. But in America, Levi's as a fashion statement died 20 years ago. It's not they're good pants, don't get me wrong, but a fashion statement, no. Right? You know, unless you're just like one of them artsy types of dudes, that's not something you don't hop out of a Lamborghini expecting people to pay attention to your Levi's. Right? You be like, oh, they look cool, but you know, it's not a fashion statement. Right? Whereas out here, it's almost like, especially with, like I said, when you get to European countries where the average wage is $300 a month, dude, they pay $120 to $150 for Levi pants out here. So that's a month's wage to them. Right? In America, we pay $50 at max I've ever seen in the US. You know, but and on top of that, our average wages are $2,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, right? So that's not a big chunk of our monthly wage. But you got to remember, like, clothing and electronics gets more expensive when you leave North America, which shocked the fuck out of me. I didn't expect that. I was expecting like all the prices would adjust to that country, right? I remember when I first went to Ukraine, I just knew I was gonna get. I just knew I was getting ready to get me a top of the line tailored suit from Ukraine, right? A top of the line bespoke suit from Ukraine. I went out there, the prices will run me out there, You know what I mean? Because it gets more expensive when you get to poorer countries. So, one, Europe is paying $150 for Levi jeans. Two, the average wage in a lot of these countries is $300 a month, $300 a month, maybe $400 a month, right? So that's half to a month's wage for a decently made pair of pants, right? So yeah, it's in America, like it's some Americans right now who are laughing. Like, I already know y'all motherfuckers in America, y'all laughing about that shit. But like, that's real shit. Like, these motherfuckers, like, Levi's is like Nike is a staple in the world. Once you leave the US, you go anywhere. I would say you go pretty much anywhere. Levi's are a staple. Nikes are a staple. In Ukraine, Fila was big. It's not big out here, but in Ukraine, Calvin Klein, that's another staple. You go anywhere on earth outside America, Calvin Klein, everybody knows Calvin Klein. That may not be as popular, but everybody has respect for it. In America, I think it's pretty much lost all respect. Unless it made a comeback lately, I think it's lost a lot of respect. Trying to think. Well, yeah, Tommy Hilfiger, Ralph Lauren. These are like the Polo Association. All these are like staples once you leave North America. Nike, from what I understand, is still kind of good in North America, but I think it's kind of like, unless they're making like a basketball player shoes, most people don't really fuck with Nike like that. Unless it's like, you know, a pair of like basketball player shoes. That's what it was when I was a kid. Like Nike shoes, unless it was like a specific basketball player shoes that were Nike, you didn't buy like just random regular Nikes, unless it was like Air Force Ones. But like once you leave the US, like any pair of Nike is just like better, like we just have better quality of clothing in North America. Like we have better qualities of hobby shit in North America, whereas like Europe has better quality of like necessity shit, like food. You mean like food? Well, cost of rent went up after the recent inflation, but typically rent was much cheaper here and all that. But yeah, like so these Levi pants, like where I left off was how I could tell when a pretty white girl in a porn in porn is European is because she wants you to see, like she makes it clear you see that Levi's, that red spot. And even when you see these little cute girls walking here, it'll be freezing outside, dude. But they will wear the specific coat so you can see that patch. See, this patch tells you that it's Levi's, and they want you to see that. They want you to see that to make you, so you know that they spent some money on it, right? Because again, it's what that woman or that person's used to. Like, see, they don't want to hear, like, in America, Levi's ain't shit. I mean, they don't want to hear that. Because they used to spending, $150 for this shit, right? So they don't want to hear, oh, Levi's ain't shit. You better go around, fuck around and they get enraged. What? Yes, it is. Bought it from the store. They ain't trying to hear that. Man. $300 a month. Oh yeah, yeah. You go out to Eastern Europe. Yeah, that's not an uncommon situation. Now in Czech Republic, I think the lowest it'll probably go is about $600. Is like roughly the lowest it'll go once you leave Prague and you go to like some like a village somewhere outside of here. Now you can start looking at the $600-800 range, something like that. But you go to like Kiev, it was most people out there don't make any more than or on the high end $400 a month. So that's the other part. Like it's like so when you see these little girls coming out of Kiev with these little OnlyFans, look. You see, in America, $200 a month for OnlyFans ain't a lot of money, but $200 a month in Ukraine, that's a lot of money. To just post pictures, and take a video of yourself sucking on a dildo for 5 minutes, that's a lot of money for them, right? That's a hell of a stress relief in that workforce out there. If she can get $200 a month off the internet, that could change her whole quality of life out there, right? Very fast. That's $200 extra. So that would be the equivalent of so $200 a month for the average worker in Kiev, for not counting like tourists or like the rich people that live in a center, but like the average person out there, to do the equivalent on that would be like in America you getting an extra $1,000 a month, or roughly an extra $800 to $1,000 a month just for taking pictures. That's the equivalent of spending power from the U.S. to Ukraine. Like if an extra $200 in Ukraine would equal is the equivalent of an American getting an extra $800 to $1,000 a month because of how money works. So like when these like scammers or like remember that video I did with that Ukrainian woman who had that guy sending her like $30,000? That woman was living a dream versus her typical Ukrainian woman counterparts. It would take a typical Ukrainian, and I'm not trying to talk down on Ukraine. I'm just talking about the numbers. It would take a typical Ukrainian maybe 10 years to make that much money. Like $30,000. It would take them years to make that. So the women, they got to start hooking. You know what I mean? Some of these girls making bank. Them young girls coming out of Europe, they gonna make it because especially the Slavic women are known for that because Slavic people have always been looked down upon. I remember I was reading a book where Michelangelo just flat out blasted Slavic people, right? If I understood it correctly, because Michelangelo had hit a part. The artist Michelangelo, he hit a part where he had to pick what kind of paint to use. And he had to, and he could use some real good paint, but you had to be good with that paint or some shitty quality paint. And and at the time, people wanted him to use the shitty quality paint. And his response was, the shitty quality paint is only good for women and Slovenes, which means the Slavics. Right? Like Slavics were always looked down because they were always pretty much like the equivalent. They were always the gypsies. Right, they were always the equivalent of how they see the gypsies. But the thing is, like, they don't see that. They don't see it because, like I said before a while back, see, Europe got away with a lot. One, because the history of Europe of being, just kind of having this image of what Europe was with the ancient Greeks and all that shit like that, right? That, and then also of recent times, because since American media caught on and it promoted white as the best, since America literally owns the world media, right? And they promoted white, Europeans like hopped on that. The Europeans fell underneath that and rolled off in the sunset with that promotion of white. White is the hero, white is the best, everybody else is weaker and all that shit. Europe hopped on that, right? And coincidentally, the Slavics who had a connection with the West, they kind of like their ego got caught in that. Right, because they look like them on TV, right? They look like them in the movie theater, right? They're white like them, right? But no, historically, Slavics were always mentally off. They were always seen as mentally off from the other Europeans. Always. They were never proper humans to the Western Europeans or the Northern Europeans. Well, the Northern Europeans, they were looked down upon because they had to swindle because they were living in like extremely cold temperatures. So they would have to come down to like to Europe proper and just swindle, lie, and bully and beat up, to take back resources to their people, back up in the Nordic region. So they had to do it. So that's why Europe kind of learned how to lie, swindle, cheat, and beat up everybody else because they learned it from them Vikings to do that shit. A lot of it came from that dynamic alone. But the Slavs, Michelangelo, he talked like I was like shocked to read that shit. Like. But nobody brings that shit up and keep that quiet. Right. But they're the gypsies, like the Slavics, like they're the gypsies. I was talking to my girl about this before she left. Like it's really embarrassing. So I'm gonna leave y'all off with this. I'm gonna go. Cause I was talking to her before she left. And I said how it's how like Czech people don't really realize how embarrassing they really are. How embarrassing that they are to, in the reality of their standing in the world. Like they don't get it, right? So, and I have some great Czech friends, and my sons have Czech, right? But they don't get how embarrassing they really are in all of this, right? So, like for example, like the Czechs, they look down on the gypsies, right? Because the gypsies are essentially the European versions of African Americans. But I think they're a little worse. I think they're a lot worse actually in what's going on. So the Czechs, they look down on the gypsies for using, the government benefits, welfare, food, their equivalent of food stamps, welfare, all that shit. The gypsies take advantage of it, right? So the working class white Czechs, it's not surprising if they go, ugh, gypsies, yuck, right? Like they can openly be like that about them, right? Well, the fucked up part, and this is what I was telling her, and I don't like to think about it because the longer you think about it, the more, frustrated I get. Because when you look at a government, right? Okay, here's the thing. The reason why this topic came up was because I found a school that offered Czech lessons for free, right? Now, here's the thing. In most countries, especially in most developed countries, your country, I'm pretty sure that they legally have to invest in giving free language lessons to foreigners. They have to do it, right? And especially in most developed countries. If I'm not mistaken, it's illegal for them not to do it, right? But the catch is, since every government wants to hold on to as much money as they can, right? They're just going to put the school in some off area where you're never going to know it, or some extremely dirty area where nobody's going to go. That way they don't have to pay for teachers and pay for that, pay a high cost for rent to rent that spot out. So they can keep the money. So the government can keep the money and, disperse it amongst their friends and, shit like that. They want to keep the money. They're going to find a way to keep it, right? So the sick part is this. I agree with the gypsies. I agree with that with the bad African Americans who do it. I agree with anybody who goes in there and takes that money legally, right? Or illegally. I think they should do it. I think anybody watching this, I think you should go down there. If you can get welfare stamps, go down there and get them. I think you should. You definitely should. Because the sick part is this. Using the Czech people as an example. See, the working Czech person is the same thing as like what a stereotypical Trump supporter is, right? They think that being good will bring Donald Trump to come in and go, yeah, good boy. Now you can come to our table and I'll teach you all the secrets of the universe because you've been a good boy. You voted for me. You agree with everything I said, no matter what I said. You can come to our table and be treated like the king that we always knew you were, because you were a good boy. Like with Uncle Ruckus when he touched him on the face and he turned white. Like the working class person thinks, they secretly believe that that's what's going to happen, right? And the sick part is this. So when that working class Czech person goes to the government or they just say out loud, I don't use government money. See, the government goes, yeah, because you're better than them, aren't you? So you don't want to take any of this money, do you? That's yours, by the way. You don't want to take any of this money, do you? No, because you're better than them. You worked hard for your money. You worked hard for it and you deserved it because you worked for it. You don't take free handouts from anyone because you worked hard for your money. Only a scoundrel would take free money from the government. Only a scoundrel would do it. You're good, aren't you, working class citizen? Yes, I'm good. Again, because see, the working class citizen thinks that they're going to get invited to the table of the gods. They never will, right? Because what happens is, see, you, that working class citizen, and you think you're too good for that handout, that money that's yours, by the way, that was legally made to be yours. If you don't take it, where's that money go? You think LaQuisha's taking all that extra money? Do you think Bonquisha is taking all that money? Do you think LaQuisha Alejandra is taking all that money? No. It's going back into them pockets of them government motherfuckers, the people who's in charge of that shit. And that money is going for their daughters' trips to Cancun, and they buying BMWs with it. They don't even like the BMW because it ain't have power heating in the middle console in the back row. All that shit, right? But you think you a good boy because you don't want to go take it. and then turn around and be mad at the rich. And then here's the other sick part. Here's the other sick part of any government, right? That working class citizen, they don't want Bonquisha to take that extra $500 a month, right? Now get this. The government would rather take that money that was allocated to you and go get more debt with it. So now you got to pay higher taxes on the money that you should have had originally. They took the money and went and gave it to somebody else. And it came back to you and got you paying more taxes on it. Got you paying taxes to pay off the debt that they created from money that should have been yours in the first place. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's all a joke. It's all the entire economy has just developed into a big joke. It's all a joke. But you better, okay, but the Czechs are better than the gypsies. Dumbass, you paying for their shit. So you trust a government worker you trust a government with your money in that regard, right? Of you not gonna take it because you better than them. It's a sick joke. It's all the sickest joke. It's a complete sick joke. Egos are a hell of a thing. Ego, because if your government was so smart, and if you were so smart, what gets me to is people they think it's a flex to say that they ain't in debt. I think that is just a pitiful, just hilariously pitiful flex, and I'll show you why. I said I was gonna let you guys go, but I'll show you why. The reason why I think it's just the most pitiful, embarrassing flex in the world is because literally, let's not go to Wikipedia, because I know if somebody watches it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, well, you looked at Wikipedia," right? So let's look at the debt by every country. Like every country, every state. Do you know how many times municipalities go under, cities go under and go bankrupt, and they have to sell that debt? Another city had to buy you. Are people even aware of that shit? That like that house that your parents bought, like that area went broke a long time ago, and they sold that to somebody else. But you ain't in no debt. Yeah, y'all ain't got no debt, and that's a flex. It's like the whole thing is just it's really just a sick. The entire game is just a sick game. Money, all of it is just sick. I'm trying to find just straight billions in numbers, but they just keep putting this. I'm trying to find Greece is awful. Yeah, that's another thing. Like Greece. Greece is just pathetic. Oh yeah, they're rating it by percentage of gross domestic product. Japan is misleading because they bought a lot of that debt to try to get it back. The UK, Singapore, Lebanon, Spain, Italy, yeah. But you gonna so here's the thing. Pavel will look down on a gypsy, right, for taking government handouts and then going out and buying a new iPhone with it, right? Which you can't be mad at that. But on the flip side, your country does the same shit. But here's the other part that's even worse about Czech. Okay, let's use Czech Republic. Here, I'll do this. I'm just using Czech Republic, but most European countries are this pathetic though. I'm just using Czech Republic because I'm in Czech Republic. Wait, let's do this. And I'll show you why it's worse than America. Like Europe is worse than Europe on a whole is worse than America. Okay, let me think about the phrasing. Because they're literally just taking free money from the European Union. I'm trying to find just like the most, let's see, 20. Yeah, imports from Germany. European Commission, 12% is, yeah, no, here it is. Because they're like Czech Republic is literally just receiving a free handout for being in the European Union, and it's like 3 times. It's either 2 or 3 times what they're putting in. No, I can't. I'm not gonna download anything right now. Here it is, Czech Republic contributions. Here it is. Here it is right here. So you can do the math in currency, but here it is right here. They're literally just taking free handouts from the European Union because they're just here, right? They've received over 1.8. So I'll even convert it. So, well, I don't feel like doing a trillions and all that. But they've contributed around 800 billion Czech crowns to the European Union, but they've received almost 2 trillion Czech crowns out of it, right? So the fact that your country is quite literally receiving free money every year, right? And the same thing goes for Poland. Poland's in the same exact boat. It might be a little different, but it's the same shit, right? It's the same. I forgot what I was gonna do. What was I gonna look up next? I forgot what I was gonna look up next. But yeah. So that's what I was gonna look up. National debt. Yeah. Check national debt from 2018 to 2028, and so this is where it's projected at this rate. So they're in right now they're in $129 billion worth of debt, right? Now, here's the other beautiful part. Here's the other beautiful part to how pathetic Europe is with money, right? Czech Republic is in debt. In 2021, they're at 129, make sure I'm reading this right, billion euros. They're in, let's say 130 billion euros, right? Now, here's going to be something that's really embarrassing right here. Ohio is in $32 billion. What? I thought it was higher than that. That's not right. The fiscal year, that's not right. Ohio's like it's like 93. Ohio's like $93 billion in debt. That's not right. Either way, Czech Republic as one country. The size, relatively speaking, the size of roughly Ohio, at this rate, is in well over 5 times the amount of debt. How, and see, this is why I say Czechs are very if you get on a political argument, like it's embarrassing. Like they embarrass themselves. Like it's flat out embarrassing. It's just pathetically, it's unbelievably embarrassing. And then they have the nerve to look down on gypsies. You literally have 5 times the debt as Ohio. It's the same size. And you got the nerve to get mad and look down on gypsies? That's your problem. It's the gypsies. Yeah, the gypsies are your problem. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, gypsies, they are wild. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to, like, you know, romanticize them. They are a wild group. But like, it's astounding. Like, when the people like to bring up like the dumb American thing, but it's astounding how dumb like a lot of Europeans will be if you dive into, you know, deeper shit. It's really quite shocking how dumb I found people to be outside of North America. It's wild. Yeah, Czech Republic is in $129 billion worth. How do you fuck up that bad? How do you fuck up that bad? Like, that's bad. That's like laughably bad. Oh yeah, I agree with you. Thanks for tuning in, Jenny. I agree with you. Yeah, it's that bond it's the kids. Yeah. Yeah, there's so many relationships that are like that. Like, if it wasn't for the kids, like, most men grow to a point where they'd just be happier alone. I'm with you on that. Totally with you on that. I'm gonna get out of here in a minute, man. Oh, inflation. Yeah. Yeah, no, and because I remember when I noticed inflation go up because on my VA benefits every year they send you an adjustment for inflation, and I remember I got like usually it's like a 2% because they spell it out all of it when you get that letter or email, like they spell out like the adjustments and how much you're going to get now, like, you know, for the next year. And it always goes up because inflation always goes up. And it's usually like 2%, like I think one year it's like 1.9%. And this year I had to read it twice. It said it was going up like, I want to say it was like 9% or like 12% or something like that. And that's when I knew inflation was like I didn't know it had gotten that bad in North America. I didn't know it you know, and from what I was able to see, I don't think many Americans didn't really realize it until like YouTube videos started coming out and explain it. But I had seen it on my VA benefits like at the beginning of the year when it happened, because like I said, they adjusted every year to what inflation is in the United States, and I seen it, like I was early to see it. People who had disability benefits and read that shit, they knew it early, but yeah. Yeah, the Czechs and the Gypsies, that shit is wild, man. Like, they look down on the Gypsies and like, their government is just like, they'll just abuse it and they just throw away the money. It's just gone. Like, who the fuck cares? Like, just abuse the fuck out of it. Like, yeah, people want to talk shit about America. Yeah, like, let's look into your country for 5 minutes. See how bad it can really get. So it looks like right after COVID, they got fucking wrecked. But yeah. Well, yeah, that superiority, yeah, Jackson, that superiority kind of comes from that automatic assumption that they're just like, it's almost that thickness that like how Americans can be like, oh, America's the greatest country on earth kind of thing. And it's that thickness, like, and Europeans definitely have that shit too. They can. I'm not saying all of them do, but it is definitely like an equal thing, if not worse, because they can get away with it because people just want to believe it. Because America kind of took that role of like assuming they're great, but people pay a lot of attention to North America, and North America is fully united. So like everybody fall. Okay, so in America, if you think California, you think all of America, right? If you think New York City, you think all of America. If you think Florida, you think all of America. right? Whereas in Europe, if you think Czech Republic, you just think Czech Republic. If you think Germany, you just think Germany. If you think France, you just think France, right? They're not united, so they don't get anywhere near that same ease of attention, right? America, since America's united, if you just think of Michigan, you think all of America. So like everybody automatically fits all that, right? Because America is, did what Europe could never do, which was properly unite. Right, so you automatically think, like, especially people from outside the U.S., they automatically think all of America. When in reality, all they really knew was just like Broadway in New York and maybe like Santa Monica, California, and that's all they really knew of North America, for the most part. But yeah, that debt and taxes, that shit is like, it's all a joke, dude. Like, don't take it. I mean, take it serious because they could lock you up for it, but I mean. If you don't do it right, but like, it's a joke. It's all a fucking joke. They gonna have you paying more taxes so they can put their kids in a better school and a better car while you run around eating ramen noodles and say, good boy. And then blew all your money and got into more debt with it. You gotta love it. Wait, I'm getting out of here. Yo, y'all have a good night. Real quick. So the laws regarding electric vehicles, like, okay, so the scooters out here, they're slowly trying to get them out of Prague, at least. They're not illegal, but they made it illegal to park them in certain spots because they were like taking up the area and people didn't like it. But as far as like the laws go, I don't know. But I will tell you, this is another law in Czech Republic. I can tell you that's pretty weird. Because I got in a Facebook conversation with this guy trying to bash like North Americans for actually caring about fire safety. So here's the weird part. In Czech law, it's actually legal to not have a fire detector in a building that was made before the year 2008. And I never even thought about it because I don't have a fire detector in here, right? If a building was made after 2008, then you have to have a fire detector in it, a smoke alarm in it. And when somebody says something, like a dude commented like, oh, Americans, blah, blah. And I said something like, well, yeah, Americans actually care about being, prepared for disasters, So I actually went and looked up the law behind it. And yeah, they don't have to have fire detectors unless the building was made after 2008. Because actually, while more Americans actually die in fires, Czech Republic actually has more fires per capita. That's what I found. They actually have more fires per capita because they don't think they do, but they actually do because their buildings are made out of like concrete and brick. They don't make them out of drywall out here. So you can't punch the wall out here. Like, you'll just break your fucking hand. But yeah, that was a weird fat law that I found out. But yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'll catch y'all later, man. I'm fucking starving. Peace out.